Hope everybody's digesting that bird. Yeah, it's a great to be here. It really is. And there's a lot of people in the chat here. I want to say thanks to everybody here that's already been waiting this entire day. But kind of talking to a lot of people that have been in the chat, and they said, Mooch, I didn't think you were going to do a show today. And, the thing about it is I actually thought about it yesterday. I said, we're going to do a show. There's not a whole lot of news, but I think we need to do a hangover edition after all that turkey and all that wine, beer, liquor, whatever it is you enjoyed. Maybe you had Kool-Aid. Doesn't matter. Whatever you had, it's time to get over it. Okay? Gaming news never stops for anybody. That being said, guys, I want to say thanks so much. And I did promise a channel update. So, I was able to reach out to a great individual, and I'm working with this individual as we speak. I've got all sorts of new looks for the show starting next week. Primarily the thumbnails, things like that. Just changing some things up. Also, we start Twitch next week. I can finally say that with confidence. Before I was like, well, maybe we won't. Maybe we will. But we definitely will. We will be back. We are going to be doing Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I will have the schedule out indefinitely, okay, by next week. But I want to let you guys know that. And like I said, no more promises. I've got to deliver. You got to deliver. Plus, I want to have at least a good-sized video once every 2 weeks. If you guys would please hit that subscribe button, okay? It means the world to me. It really, really does. Hit that like button. And if you could see right where that description is, that lovely description down there below, you'll see the join button. It would mean the world to me if you guys would please join the channel. We are doing some great things. I got news for you. Wait till you see the giveaway we're starting next week. I'm calling it mooching off a mooch. Okay, you guys deserve a little mooching in your life. Okay, it's not fair for me to do it all. You guys deserve to mooch off of me as well. So we're going to start doing a giveaway starting next week, all the way till Halo Infinite campaign releases on December 8th. I'll give more details early next week, but you guys will be very, very satisfied. That being said, let me just take a moment here and thank every single one of the Mooch Maniac family members. It means the world to me, guys. The absolute world. The great Sir X-Man, JudaZuk, WoolleyGamer, Frostbite Slash, MumbleRanting Gaming, Tyson Web 509, All-Round Gamer, TrueWiddy, Kn1ght Ripper7, Big Chuck 777, Alphonso Carter, Punkidish, the great BRAP, Jamie, Lady Foxfire, Replicant, Evan Fassbender, and Damion. And our major Mooch Maniacs, Smokes 901, you're home, baby! Good to have you back with us. Tactical Gamer, Supreme Samurai, Gaming with Persona, Donnell Brown, That Guy Smitty, 4-Star General, Brian B, a.k.a. Delirium Blades, and our VIP Mooch Maniacs, Rated D Demonic, Strictly! Strictly's here with us. Fork Boy Gaming, Sean Slomka, pardon me, the Wise Old Gamer, Windingo Rex, Brian Carter, Remarkable Knights, the Great Percolator 9000, and our honorable mentions, MexJ88, where are you? You're out there without food, water, or toilet. Come home. The Great Marty Bison, Sergeant Salty Nut, Slain Chilean, Zambila Ice Cream. What happened? Rate the Emperor, the Great Wilmiud, and the Forever Mooch Maniac, Longshot 316. Guys, go ahead and please do tweet it out. We have more people on the way. There's more people coming on the way. I believe the Great Crap Gamer's running a little late. I know Xbot448 is running a little late. And BRAP is driving home as we speak to come to the show. All right. That being said, there's a huge, huge thing going on right now. The Great Gaming Forte, okay? You guys know him. He works in this industry, not for him, not for his family. He does it for you. And he's here tonight on the biggest retail sales day of the year, okay? The man himself closes up the shop, comes to the show. The Great Gaming Forte, it is outstanding to have you on the show, buddy, tonight. It is good to have you back. We missed you so much. How are you? And we're going to get into your day in a few short minutes.
Oh, yeah, man. I've been good. Just working a lot every Friday, it seems. And
yes.
The funny thing is, the picture you saw was me leaving work, but it looked just like that when I got to work this morning at 5:30 in the morning. So I was like, oh, yo, I left work. I came to work and it was dark outside. I left work and it was dark outside. So
that's not cool. That's not cool, but you know what, though? It's a big day.
Sounds like my marriage.
Oh, the Great BRAP is here, folks.
Not a bad thing. I'm just saying. It's great.
It is great. No, honestly, Forte, though, listen, I worked retail for a long time, and today's a tough day. No matter, even if it went well, it's still a tough day. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of advertisements. There's a lot of, as Slow-Mo was saying before the show started, a lot of misinformation out there that customers will come in with. So you've got to kind of steer everybody right, and Forte, it is outstanding to have you here tonight. I can't wait to get into what we're getting into with the holiday sales of the games. The great BRAP here, who makes a great entrance, too. Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. BRAP, who did an outstanding job on Wednesday. BRAP, we were kind of talking about it before the show. You did like an early bit of a solo cast, and then it was just an unbelievable cast that showed up on BRAP on Wednesday night. So, BRAP, great to have you here tonight, buddy. I hope you're ready to talk some games.
Double kill.
I think you're taking that guy's job. I'm almost certified that you're going to do it.
Actually, I think I am, but no. I'm just happy to be here, and I you know what's wild?
What's that?
So I posted the. All right, so I got stuck with a PlayStation 5 bundle.
Okay.
And I posted it on the whole Facebook Marketplace, and people were like very angry about the asking price. I'm like, really, people? Why are you so angry?
Right.
I don't understand this. People are very angry.
Whoa,
I don't get it.
Wait. You said you were stuck with a PlayStation 5 bundle?
Yes.
Whoa. How did you get stuck with what unless things have changed?
Well, so my nephew. So
the nephew got in trouble.
No, my nephew, my sister got a PlayStation from Walmart and didn't tell me about it.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm stuck with one. So
you're not stuck with it. You can return it.
Oh, well, listen, not just that, BRAP, but I got to be honest with you. I think somebody will buy it off you.
I put on the Facebook like marketing thing, and people are upset that I'm charging money for it. They're like, "What are you doing? Where's the KY jelly?" I'm like,
"Oh, jeez,
wow. How much are you charging for it?"
Good question, Slomo.
A couple $100 over ask.
Oh, geez, there. Well, Slomo,
you're kind of vague here.
I said I'm tired of scalpers became a scalper.
Kind of vague here, Enrique. What's the number, bro?
Let me tell you, $1,100, sir.
A couple hundred.
A couple hundred over retail. That's like.
Wait a minute. Are you putting the whole bundle on there?
So what's in the bundle?
Bundle's on there. The whole bundle's on.
Bundle. That bundle only cost you $791. No, $831.
No, actually, it did not. It cost me $850.
You went with a healthy
Why did it cost
price.
you $850? What else did you buy?
Well, I got the warranty and the tax and everything.
Okay. They got you for the warranty. Okay,
East Coast, the tax in East Coast is more higher.
Well, listen, but let's get into the show here because I think BRAP's trying to get his a car payment and a mortgage payment out of this PS5, which I don't blame him, by the way. I really don't blame him.
What I'm saying is, look, what I am doing what this country is built upon: capitalism.
Capitalism. At its finest, BRAP.
And people are mad. People are mad.
I thought I saw BRAP on some sort of one of those, what is it, a $5 bill you on the back of? I'm not sure, BRAP.
Everybody remember this when BRAP looking for something and he can't find it, then all the scalpers got it.
And you know what? I won't buy it, but I won't buy it.
Hey, BRAP, do me a favor.
He's trying to finance his next GPU right now.
Hey, BRAP, I was going to say, BRAP, I'm hearing from the audience, too. While I introduce Crap, I think you have to fix your headset. You are botting. So if you could, I think it's your headset or your mic. I'm not sure which one it is, but let me introduce the great Crap Gamer while BRAP works on that. Crap, you couldn't have come at a better time, buddy. Now, I realize you probably circled the block because we didn't have the foods in the green room that you wanted, but nonetheless, Crap, you're here, and it's fabulous.
There's an echo.
Yeah, that's BRAP's playing with his headset. So it's until he fixes it, we're going to have a bit of an echo.
Hello.
Crap. Crap, I think people came to this show purposefully to hear you in Dolby stereo sound.
I wouldn't doubt it. I got like 2 fans.
Well, I want them all to come and visit, Crap. All right? No, Crap, great to have you tonight, buddy. Great holiday season sales today and a bunch of other things we're going to talk about that I know you are very active on Twitter about. I want to get into. Let's get through these intros, though, because this is going to be great. By the way, shout out to Shalane, who came back home. She says, what's up, Mooch? What's up, Shalane? It's great to have you back. Please, guys, do think about joining you. The join button's right above the description. But I do want to get into another gentleman that's joining us tonight, the great Slow-Mo Backslap, which, it's funny. We were talking about this before the show, too, as well. And, Slow-Mo's just one of those guys that he'll sit back, and you'll notice he'll let the entire panel have at it. Because what he's actually doing is putting together a case to destroy half the panel. Which, by the way, most of the time, I'd say about 95% of the time, I agree with the great Slow-Mo. Slow-Mo Backslap back again on the show. Slow-Mo, it's been too long, buddy. How are you this evening?
I'm doing good, man. I'm a little tired. I played up to like 3 a.m. playing Halo Infinite with Merc and Incognito and Addict and a whole bunch of people. We had the huge Big Team battle thing. We had amazing comebacks. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm too old for this. I'm
I
too
Hey,
old to
Slow-Mo,
do
did
this.
did you have 30 kills, Slow-Mo?
Huh?
Did you have 30 kills and like 2 deaths?
No,
He-
Slow-Mo,
that
let me tell you
happened
something, bro.
once. That happened
No,
once
you're
or
not having one.
twice.
Sir, you were too, seriously, you were the fucking demon slayer in Halo.
This is not true. Merc, please
This is
tell
very
them I
true.
wasn't
Listen,
doing
listen,
all
Where
that.
did
I will
hear
tell
this
you the
from,
truth.
Brad?
I will tell you the
Brad, where
truth.
did you hear this from?
We probably made a couple people uninstall Halo Infinite yesterday. Tell me the truth.
Merc, that's not what I want. That's not what I wanted you to say, Merc.
Look, I was part of that Erica Cuts for the to win team last weekend.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the leaderboard. I'm like, Slow-Mo has 40 kills and 1 death.
That is
and
an
a wake,
exaggeration.
And a wake. And he had a
Indeed.
wake.
Slow-Mo did go off that day. He did go off that day. He did.
Mark, he went nuts. He had his nuts in his hands. He's like, "What's up?"
You can
Yeah,
tell.
I-
So you can tell. Crap. By the way, not crap. Pardon me. BRAP is coming from happy hour. Everybody, you can tell. There is
I'm
no
just
hiding
saying,
that.
Like, I mean,
Hey.
it's not a happy hour thing.
I have to put-
It's a
Hey.
Slow-Mo thing.
I'm not sure if I
Hey,
put the
look,
PG-13 label on this episode yet. Hold on a second.
Well,
Well, there it is.
I would dial it back.
Well, that's right. Yeah, PG-13 there, BRAP. As long as thank you, I appreciate that.
I would
yeah.
say Slow-Mo really he killed it last weekend.
He's great.
Being
Brad,
modest.
well, Brad, Luca tried to rebalance the teams, but people didn't want to rebalance the teams, so we tried. To,
It was
I
look, it wasn't it was
I
it
left
was
after
fine. It
that.
was fun. We had a good time, man. It was and
Hey,
we had a good
good.
time before that doing big team battle with like everybody together too. So it was cool. It was fun.
We're gonna
Yeah,
get into that, guys. We're gonna get into that because I do want to talk a lot. A lot of the show is going to be about Halo. We're going to talk about everything about Halo, but I do want to introduce our special guest here, the great Merc305. Now, Merc, we've been talking behind the scenes for quite some time, buddy.
We
And just
have,
because
that
of
is true.
scheduling, we haven't been able to make it work out. But tonight we did, buddy. It is great. It's an honor to have you on the show. And I know you're a big Halo fan, big Xbox fan, and I'm excited to get into these subjects because I got to hear your opinion as we go through a lot of these ones. But the great Merc305, how are you doing this evening?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you for the invite. Yes, we've been trying to get on the show for some time, man.
Yes.
And it's been evading us for a lot of different reasons. But it's a great time. Halo Infinite has dropped, and I'm sure it's going to be a big component of what we're going to be talking about. And I'm looking forward to the topics, man, and we're going to get into it.
Appreciate that, Merc. And then the great Face 23 is here. He says, Super Chat's working. It is, Face. Thank you so much. He says, is February the new holiday season for gamers? My pockets are going to be hurting in February. Face, you're not alone. Face, you are not alone. It is unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable how many games are coming out in February. It's actually astonishing. And, the problem is, before you even get into the money aspect of it, it's not even just a money thing. It's legitimately a time thing. And February is the shortest month. So of all months.
But Mooch, we already see some games are moving out of that time period. And I think this happened earlier this year as well. I remember last year we were all like, man, February is going to be crazy. And then games moved. And
That's
whether
right.
they felt like we ain't going to sell right now with that other giant in front of us, or they were just like, look, we delayed our game to February because it wasn't ready. And it's still not going to be ready. So just delay it even further. So like we saw, what is it, what's the remake? Saints Row. Saints Row got delayed.
That got delayed
later, all the way later in the year or something. And I kind of feel like something else got delayed, or maybe I feel like.
Well, oddly enough, though, Sifu moved up 2 weeks. So
yeah,
I thought that was interesting.
Well,
I like the play. I like the play, but I would have either moved it to end of January or I would have bumped it to early March. Personally,
Right.
Probably early March for that because we have, which I think should be the game of the year, Elden Ring,
Mhm.
and then we have what's it called?
Horizon Forbidden West. That's like in
Horizon.
the middle of the month.
And
It's like-
I know
like-
nobody, everyone's discounting it, but it's not fair. I know that they went through development hell, okay? A lot of games
True.
we're all enjoying it, but Dying Light 2 is, I think, going to be a lot of fun. I'm personally looking forward to it.
Capping.
I probably, I'm not, I'm honestly
Coach,
not
you love-
capping because
You're
I love the
capping because
game.
You love the original.
I did.
Exactly.
I did. I loved it. I will be playing Dying Light 2 probably right up until Horizon. And then Horizon, I'm going to have to do like an Expedia beat because I really want... Elden Ring is something that I'm drooling to play. I think everybody on the panel, except for Crap, I apologize, Crap, I know you're not a Souls fan, but I think even Crap might like Elden Ring. You never know. This is a whole nother world of Souls.
Hey, Crap.
I'm actually a Crap on this one.
Crap. Elden Ring is going to be your game of the year, man. Calling it right now.
That thing looks like
It's
an Xbox
not.
360
It's definitely
game.
not.
No, Crap. Come on, man. It's not about graphics. It's all about graphics, dude. Come on.
All right.
Gameplay,
Well, let me do this. I want to get.
By the way,
Go ahead.
Techland is going to show new gameplay for Dying Light 2 next week.
They are, yes, that's true.
Honestly, you know what? In slow-mo, I appreciate that. Thank you for putting that out there for the audience to know. But I got to tell you, in all honesty, like I saw what I saw already. Do I think it's leaps and bounds? It's probably going to be a much larger map, a lot more roam, a lot more interaction with the 4 people or the 3 other people you'll be able to play with than a team of 4. But other than that, I think it's just going to be a lot more of what we loved from the first one. I didn't, you know what I mean? And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't know if they said that they've changed the day-night cycle to represent an easier evening run, because I will say this much. Until your ability's built, okay, until you were kind of OP in the game in the first one, going out at night was kind of a no-no. I don't know if you guys remember that. Back in, I think it was 2015. You couldn't really go out at night early on in the game. You were going to get slapped. So that was the thing. I think that they've altered that a bit, and I think that that's important, because that's what really kind of makes this game stand out from other zombie games, was the day-night cycle. So I'm hoping that they did revamp that, and I'm hoping that the development hell that they went through the past 3-4 years after the fact.
Does this game have Battle Royale?
No.
I don't believe it holds battle right now.
That is bullshit. No one cares.
It's dead on arrival. It's
No
DOA.
one
It's
cares.
dead. It
No one
died.
cares.
Yeah, don't buy it.
No one fucking cares.
You know, well, let's do this. You know, it's funny because I really want to kind of get into Halo. And I think everybody that's here in the chat, by the way, shout out to Alvin. He says, I sent the super chat in spring to say that Returnal made me want a PS5. Thanks to GameStop, finally got one yesterday, all set for my next gen on my C1. Shout out to Alvin. Thanks for that super chat, buddy. And then I'll be honest with you, you're going to enjoy every second of Returnal, and you're going to enjoy every second of that C1.
That
Congratulations
C1
on
is
your-
great.
Congratulations on your PS5, sir.
There you go. You know what? That's the thing.
The C1, that's amazing.
I wish Forte's store was closer to me. I would literally just bring a chair and sit there with the man all day long. I really would.
I wish Forte was closer to me. I'd sit next to him.
Wouldn't you?
I would. I would hold his hand.
Well, let me start. I'll start with our special guest. I like to put our special guest on the hot seat.
I love you.
So I'm going to put Merc on the. Let me put Merc on the hot seat here, as BRAP adores the great gaming Forte from a distance. I do want to say, Merc, you know, we've talked about Halo over the past 2-3 weeks, and I want to talk about the good first. I really want to talk about the good. This game is very well, you know, it's polished, it feels good, it plays good. And someone like myself that even weeks ago, okay, before the game was released for free early on November 15th, I thought that some of these modes would start to get a little dull. Now, I will say this much. I'm enjoying them a little more than I thought I would. But I still have some concerns. But before we get to the concerns, I want to know, what is it you think about what we've gotten so far, Merc, in the multiplayer, the free multiplayer for everybody? And what do you think are some of the longer aspects that maybe you're gonna say, you know, Mooch, right now I don't have a problem with this, but down the road I'm seeing a bit of a hurdle we're gonna have to jump?
Well, look, I think the game came out very polished. As someone that's played all the Halos in the past, I spent a considerable amount of time back in Halo 3 and playing MCC and all that stuff. I'm a huge Halo fan just overall. Man, when the game came out, as far as the first initial beta, I felt some of the guns weren't as balanced, right? Even though the game relatively ran well. And I spend most of my time actually playing on PC. Even though I do own a PS5 and I do own an Xbox, I spend 99% of the time playing my games on PC. So I am playing Halo Infinite on PC. The game wasn't as optimized. I have my issues with it. So here comes this beta, right? Which is essentially kind of like a soft, unofficial launch, right? Before the game actually launches on December 8th. And I'm sure we'll talk about that, what will happen then. Man, the game runs a lot better. They balance the weapons a lot better. Like, for example, the battle rifle, I had huge issues with the battle rifle in the first beta. And they seem to clean that up. Now the battle rifle is back being my favorite weapon in the game. The movement in the game is phenomenal. The mouse and keyboard support is great, even though I do still think playing with controller is still an advantage because the aim assist is definitely there, right? I think as far as from the gunplay perspective and the game itself, I think the game is incredible. I mean, it is a knockout. It is the clear evolution of where Halo had to go. I had some of my concerns about that they got rid of the dash and the boost and the Spartan charge and all that stuff.
You know, it's funny you say that. Now the dash itself, and the great Xbox 448 may be joining us a little bit later. The dash is kind of there in that one ability.
Yeah, it's a pickup. It's a pickup item, which I would like for the dash to be a perk that you can add permanently, and maybe that's where the game will evolve in the future, right? Just how I would like to see the grapple hook be a perk that you can add permanently on there, and that'll might add even more fun to the gameplay.
Yes.
But as far as the game itself, it is just so addicting. I thought I was going to be spending this time in Battlefield 2042, and I hate to admit I'm one of those that actually spent $89 on buying the gold edition.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And I've
got your
completely
week's worth out of it.
Yeah, and I've completely dropped the game, and I've been all out Halo. That is all I play right now, and it is just so addicting. Now, I don't know if you want to get into what my issues with the game are, because no game is perfect. Halo Infinite is not immune to that, right? I do think, for example, I see what they're doing with it being a free to play. The fact that we look at games like Fortnite and games that have been uber successful before, and I can see what they're trying to do with a battle pass and all that stuff, which is fine. The fact that you can go out and buy, let's say, one of the esports skins and spend $10, I mean, let's be honest. I think everybody knows, if you've played either Fortnite or know someone that played a lot of Fortnite, like I used to play a lot of Fortnite in the past, man, I've dropped over $20 for one skin in Fortnite. So this is not a foreign concept to me. My only issue with the game resides in the battle pass. I feel that the leveling up and the grind and the fact that you're forced to do these challenges, that it's not like a fluid evolution of going through the battle pass where you just continue to unlock things. And I kind of feel that they did that because now the season's going to last all the way till April. So what happens once you hit level 98? Now there's nothing for you to play.
The other issue I have, Merc, and I know that BRAP and I know Slow-Mo are definitely going to chime in on this. The one thing that I have is I do like progression. I don't care about the game. Yeah. I know this happens to be a hot subject right now, but no matter what the game is, I like to gain move through the ranks of the battle pass faster. So I'm finding myself doing this. Here's what I'm doing right now. When I'm playing with friends, I'm actually playing to get the objective complete, right? If it's capture the flag, I'm doing that. If it's Slayer, it's Slayer. I'm trying to get as many kills, this and that. I don't care if I have to get 15 pistol shots or I have to do a big team battle. I'll play those, which kind of sucks because no matter what, you're always on a team. But when I'm playing with friends, I don't want to play with Slow-Mo and everybody and be like, oh, you know what? No, I'm just going to go get my 15 pistol kills. I don't really care if you guys are playing, power seeds or whatever. Like, so the thing about it is this, though. That's the problem is you find yourself kind of torn when you need to level up versus play the objective. The game is essentially tearing you in half. Now, you might be the better gamer and say, I'm okay with going ahead and losing. I'm going to just not progress. I'm just going to help my team, which I think is the right thing to do. But there is a time where you want to progress through it. And it makes you scratch your head and say, why would they do this first of all? The other thing is that, and I want to kind of throw this out. And Merc, by the way, feel on Crossfire, it's not roundtable, so whenever you want to speak. I'm just going to go to Slow-Mo here because I know Slow-Mo has so many hours into the game. Slow-Mo, the reason I go to you here is like there's a lot of things that have been left out of the game. I'm enjoying it, and I know you're enjoying it. I mean, oh my God, the hours you put into it are impressive. You have I have 20 hours into the game. You have like 56. So I mean, my point being is that the game is great. Like what we're playing is great, but do you see that there's maybe a problem here where they left a lot of content out? And I'm not even talking about the natural progression. It just seems like there could have been other maps.
There's no SWAT right now, which is like a very popular mode. That's a mode that Halo players want to play. That's what I mean. That's what I've been told.
Even though, it's funny that people say it's in beta, but yet. In beta, they have microtransactions.
BRAP, didn't he say Slow-Mo?
Forte. That's why I'm glad I got the BRAP panel on tonight.
I'm just saying.
BRAP, he go call your name. You go get your.
I'm saying though, I'm just asking the question, Slow-Mo. So interrupt Forte.
Let him answer the question.
Well, he wasn't answering the question I was asking. But go ahead. Go ahead, Slow-Mo. I'm sorry, Forte's interrupted you again, as always does.
Yeah, y'all are wild tonight. No, it's so look, these the missing modes like SWAT is something that I really enjoy from like playing on previous Halo multiplayer, and not to have that there. That's like one of the first things I was like, I didn't like that. I also kind of didn't like that quick play doesn't allow you to uncheck some of the modes that are in it. So it's like you have oddball, you got capture the flag, you got strongholds, which is a little new and different. But it's new and different to Halo, but it's not new and different to multiplayer shooters in general. Every game that's a multiplayer shooter at this point has something like strongholds. It's called Control in Destiny. It's called, whatever else in other games. It's the same kind of mode. Domination, right.
Yeah.
That's new to Halo, which I'm fine with strongholds. I like it, but I would like the ability, especially when you have battle pass challenges that specifically say complete 3 oddball matches. And I'm just looking at that like, how long is it going to take me to do that? Because
you don't have any say over it.
Yeah, I have no say over how many times I can play oddball. Now, if they did something like what Splitgate would do, Splitgate would be like, I think they kind of actually went a little bit further and say you can just choose whichever mode you want to do. But at one point, Splitgate would say you could have a minimum of 3 modes checked. So like if you want to do team deathmatch, if you want to do the SWAT kind of mode in Splitgate, and then like another mode, those 3 modes, you gotta have a minimum of 3 checks so that you can make sure you can get enough people into all the modes. And I think the reason why 343 did the way they did it is they were afraid that people would want to do oddball, and then they would have these challenges for oddball, but nobody's playing oddball, so they couldn't get into a match. So they weren't quite certain about how big it was going to be, just because you never really know how the game's going to hit before it actually does. But I think that's the reason why they did it, and they may tweak that later on. But it's a bit disappointing at this point right now, where it's like, I just really want to kill people. I don't want to have to, especially when you're playing solo and you're dealing with randoms, and randoms aren't playing the objective. They play in TDM regardless of what the mode says. So they're doing TDM. They're just trying to they're trying to work on that KD, even though it's capture the flag.
Did they have that data before though? Like in terms of like, how many people play certain like game modes? They have that.
Oh yeah, they've
always had that. Like that goes back 20 years. By the way, they've had that information, which is why people are very frustrated the fact they don't have playlists, because they've had this data before. Like Slayer, it's an obvious. You should have that.
Yeah.
And like you can't sit there and say, oh, it's in a beta, because you know what? Yeah, it might be in a beta, but you're charging microtransactions, so that's not a beta.
I can tell you where they're going to do that. The reason why they tell you it's a beta and they don't let you select a playlist is because come December 8th, they're going to tell you it's out of beta. And by the way, now you can select the place that you want. And now that's going to draw more attention to the multiplayer, and people are going to go back in and select Slayer and whatever their favorite mode is. That's what I project is probably going to happen. That's the most common sense thing that's probably going to happen for sure.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Mark. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a glass half full, which, by the way, I don't mind you saying that one bit. Although I think if it wasn't for the complaining in the community, I don't know if what you're saying would come true. I think what you're saying may happen, but I think you can thank everybody on the panel and everybody we talked to on Twitter and in the community for vocalizing that's what we want. Now, can you guys are bigger. I've always said this. I've enjoyed Halo, but I've never been the biggest Halo fan. On Halo 3, Halo 5, Halo 4 multiplayer, were you able to select the map and the game that you want to play?
You could. What wasn't there is I believe Forge wasn't there at Halo 5 at launch, and it launched with very few maps. So, and then 343 kind of abandoned Halo 5 in a sense, because in order to get new maps, they depended on the community to create them. You get what I'm saying? So Halo 5 really had like a rough launch, but in a different way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
they also called it a beta because they had promised that they wouldn't release the multiplayer in the game in the campaign separately. This allowed them to release the multiplayer, which we all knew was been ready, without actually going back on their word, because officially it's not officially out. It's in beta, even though the beta won't end until the actual game comes out. So
I guess my question is, like, can we categorize games as beta when there's microtransactions involved?
Oof, that's a good question.
Well, there are a lot of games that are on PC, but they're mostly PC only games.
I mean, how long was PUBG in beta?
for years.
Yeah,
like so
PUBG was in beta forever.
Yeah. Fortnite was making billions upon billions of dollars and branching out into mobile, where it was still technically in beta.
Yeah.
Like,
does that make it okay though? I mean, like,
no, it's not. It was definitely not okay.
No, it's not okay.
It's a practice that isn't like this isn't new to like.
Yeah, the gaming
3 isn't the first studio to ever do something like this.
You're allowing all your stuff to go forward with you. It would be
exactly.
If you were taking it away from you.
I only raised the question.
That is true, Forte.
I only raised the question because I know this is like PUBG is like the obvious for me. It's the obvious one that comes to mind. But like I only bring it up because I feel like people are saying that this stuff's okay, and they can charge money, but it's in beta. Like is that something we should embrace as a community? That, you know what, something's a beta, we can pay money for something, and that's okay. Like, is that a good precedent to set to set forward?
I think see where you're coming from, but I think if you don't want to support something that you don't stand for it and you don't want to support it and you don't think you're getting something out of the game, don't spend money into it. Like, for example, like myself, I bought one of the HCS skins and I bought the battle pass because the gameplay is so good. It's something I wanted to support. Now I'm sure some people in the chat and maybe on the panel say, "Oh, Merc, you know what, man? I mean, this, and this, I disagree with you," which is fine, and I understand people's stance with that.
I think my problem with slapping beta on something like this. Here's my issue. And tell me if you guys are okay with it. I same thing goes for Fortnite, by the way. It's time to get rid of that too. But hear me out.
It's officially out of beta.
Is it out of beta officially?
It took it about.
It took about 3 years. Yeah. So my issue with Halo having beta slapped on it right now is this game comes out December 8th. Okay, they decided as a team to release the game early because it was ready to go, and the game was supposed to come out a year ago. Okay, I think when you slap beta on there, it almost is a get out of jail free card. Yeah. And what concerns me is I don't even know if do you think on December 8th the beta will be removed?
Yeah, I definitely think so.
I think so. Yeah.
I think they have to.
The modes, yeah.
That's
how they're going to unlock the modes and all that.
I am curious on exactly what will be different with the multiplayer on December 9th compared to what's in the multiplayer right now. I mean, they're already
I'm not expecting a huge difference.
Season has started. I mean, I don't expect much to be different. They already said the first season has started. They already started some of the events that will be reoccurring, like the current
ninja
event
outfit,
right now.
You know.
But yeah, I forgot what it's called. But it's like you can get this this ninja outfit with a ninja,
which by the way,
demon helmet too, as long as you build it up.
By the way, like seriously, like the cosmetics to earn that look terrible.
Look,
why would I want that?
Enrique has a point. Like if you look at the battle pass, right? Some of the best stuff in the battle pass, you gotta be at like level 40 to hit. Yeah. Like the one stands that everyone's got their back to the player. Like
but my armor set, I bought that. My armor set, I bought that. That they had the teams, the Halo
the best skins,
and I'm shiny
for armor are the ones that you have to pay for.
You have to pay for outside of the battle pass. You have to double dip.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy because
even skins that you would get if you hit like level 90 and stuff.
If you have to like if you're working to earn something, right? And they give you a skin that looks ashy as fuck, that's a problem. Like it's like I don't know, man.
Well, hold on.
I see what BRAP is saying. I don't want to cut you off. The only reason why I say it is because if you look at the skins that are in the HCS store, which is the the esports store, man, those skins are like shiny, like the visors are glaring.
Yes.
Like, hey, I ain't gonna lie, that's the reason why I bought it.
But that to me, that's like they want you to buy it. They're trying to force you to buy a microtransaction. I'm like
it's the shiny new car.
Hold on.
At the car dealer.
Before we lose
car from grinding is my point.
I agree.
Before we lose focus on it, here's the point, because I think BRAP said it, and I think Merc said something that's interesting. Slow-mo also brought it to everyone's attention a moment ago. When you have the battle pass, okay, and Merc said a while ago, Merc, you were talking about a different video game. You were talking about a different game. You said I have the battle pass, and whatever it was, it could have been Call of Duty, whatever it was. But you go climb through the battle pass and you get these great skins and you get the great guns, right? You get all of this stuff, which is why you pay the $10, right, every time the battle pass is launched in different seasons. the problem here, and you guys all know this, right? You guys all know this. I'm okay with double dipping. I have no problem with that. But the problem is that this is a double dip contradiction, because it's one thing if it's free to play, great. So you just play the game, you don't have to pay a penny. Awesome, outstanding, totally get it. But then they're like, hey, listen, for all of you that actually want to look good, we got something for you. It's called the Battle Pass. Then you look at the Battle Pass, and there's really nothing great. There's nothing really great in it. So then you go, well, how do I get that great looking skin? Oh, you got to pay $10 on top of the Battle Pass. Well, you know what? At that point, you know what I'd say? Skip the Battle Pass. But this is what I'm thinking. Skip the Battle Pass and go buy the Spartan armor that you really love. Because there's nothing really luring me to the Battle Pass. What I really want is in the store. I want one of those shiny Spartan armors.
There's some things in the Battle Pass that I want.
Very few, yes.
You got to be at much higher levels to even get them.
Well, no, wait a minute. Now I'm going to defend. I'm going to defend Halo.
Hold on, I do agree about the skins part, but I think it's really more of like, do you want to look good right now? Because like the thing is that like you don't really get access to a lot of the different color unlocks to unlock change your armor for your particular Spartan until you get a little bit further up. But if you're starting out and you're ashy, like Enrique is saying, you're like, man, I ain't really trying to wait until level 20 to finally get a color that I want. We're going to the esports store and get one of the color schemes for one of these esports teams you never ever heard of in your entire life. You don't know who they are.
Real quick, I think what you're discussing though, like you're talking about the esports teams and like the ashy armor. I think what Halo is exposing, and G Park for Washington Post read a great article about this today. We're seeing the digital divide between gamers that are like me, you, Slimo, and Mooch, and Merc, and probably Gaming Forte and Crap Gamer versus our children that want to look good while they play, right? And I think that's what we're seeing, and that's where the disconnect is right now with Halo, where like people like us, like if you're gonna make us grind, make it worth it, right?
Yeah.
Where the people like my kids are like, you know what? How much does it cost?
Yeah, and that's the Fortnite generation because that format works. Because with Fortnite, they come out with a new skin. Tomorrow is a skin for Wolverine. Yeah. I saw a skin for a character that's so obscure from a book that I read once. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Who even knows about this book? This skin is in Fortnite. It's just like they're just throwing anything in there. And kids just eat it up. You want it? Here, $15, $20.
Are we out of touch here, or is it? I mean, like I don't know. Like
it's for a different generation, man. This is why it's going to work.
Is Halo not for us then?
No. You know what it is? You know what it is?
Going too far.
I kind of agree with BRAP here, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because I had to make this. I had made this comment with. I was talking to Erica and Hustle. Shout out to them. And I told them, man, you know what? I bought the Battle Pass first before I bought the esports skin that I have now, which is I forget the one that I have, the black and gold one with the gold visor.
Right.
That's the one that I got. And and I said, man, you know what? Looking at what's in the Battle Pass, I wasn't really completely interested in what was there, which is the reason why I then bought the esports skin that I bought. And then I made a comment to them in the DM and I said, man, you know what? I'd much rather buy all these esports skins. I'll buy them at $10 at a time every other week. I'll eventually going to own them all. I'm sure of it. Right. And I might just skip the Battle Pass altogether.
That's what I was saying, Merc.
Until it improves to a point where I deem it worth me buying it. You get what I'm saying? So I do agree with you guys. Yeah.
No, I do agree. And that's the point I was trying to make. I want to say shout out to Buck for the super chat. He says, no criticism. But he goes, you guys have a great panel, and I am suckered for a good, fair Halo discussion. Love the game. Good show. Buck, thank you for that. That's the thing. And I see a few people saying, not going to be fair. Honestly, guys, I think everybody on the panel has truly enjoyed their time and is enjoying their time and will continue to enjoy their time with Halo.
Yeah.
I made a promise to Gadget and a few others out there in the chat too. We are not doing a 2-hour show on Halo. I do want to ask the question. I'll start with Merc again. And guys, Forte, Crap, chime in because I know. So Merc, I'll just start with you because I know that you're a super fan. And the reason I asked the question, I usually go right to Xbot448 for this, but he'll be here later. One of the things I said was, unless we get a good, healthy dose of modes, and the Battle Pass really does pick up, which we know that the Battle Pass, Season 1 Battle Pass is around until at least May, I'm not seeing a huge difference. And people with this Fiesta playlist, people aren't really enthralled with that either.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
My point is that I said, look, everybody knew when December 8th came. Of course, November 15th, because they sprung this on us early. But November 8th, I said all the way till February 8th, maybe even March. I said everyone's going to be talking about Halo, right? Then I said, but if things don't change within some kind of new material, I feel like this monstrous amount of hype that we have right now, and you can already see the numbers are showing it slowly, it will decline, because at the end of the day, Merc, no matter how nice it feels, and I'm enjoying it too, without more modes and without a more appealing battle pass, playing Capture the Flag for the next year, let's just, you got to call it what it is. And Merc, so my question to you is, do you feel, unless something like new is placed in front of us by 343, that this game will lose a bit of its luster by the time we reach probably, let's just say, February, March of 2022?
It's definitely an interesting question, right? Because right now you look at Halo. Halo right now is what I would like to call that honeymoon period.
Absolutely.
Right?
I said that last week. I called it the honeymoon period. I think people didn't like that, but I agree with you, Merc.
It is, and I think any game that has garnered the kind of hype that Halo has presently right now, there is that honeymoon period, right? And they kind of landed in a perfect situation. Vanguard is what it is, COD, but Vanguard's probably one of the, I don't know, I don't see the COD community, clapping its praises in the masses as you've seen, like, let's say Modern Warfare 2019. Battlefield basically is a completely incomplete game, which low-key kind of flopped, especially in the reviews. So in come Halo, and Halo becomes the darling in the media. And I think, some of the biggest streamers in the world are streaming it, like Dr. Disrespect, Tim the Tap Man.
Yep.
I mean, just look at everybody in the community, even everybody that we know that are streamers in the community, they're all streaming Halo. So Halo's in that honeymoon period right now. Is this sustainable with what we currently have in the Battle Pass right now today? No, I don't think so, right? Mm-hmm. The first thing they got to address, which I hope they do it at launch, which I suspect they will, which is the ability for us to pick our playlist. Right?
Absolutely.
They need to address something with the Battle Pass as far as that it's not so grindy. And I think they got to modify the content that's in there, because I think what you're getting in the Battle Pass does not constitute me grinding all of that to get those items, when I feel the esports store for the $10 per skin that I'm buying, I'm getting way more for my money. So, it's been proven in games like free-to-play games, in order for them to sustain that huge player base for long periods of time, that Battle Pass is a key component. And right now, as great as Halo, the gameplay is, which is, I don't think anybody will argue how great the gameplay is, the weakest component of Halo is the Battle Pass. And that's something that I feel that they need to address and they need to modify. Or they need to come up with something like, I know this Fiesta event, I'm not a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of them adding these add-ons that maybe you can unlock these esport type skins going forward.
Right.
By doing something in a secondary battle pass. So I could see where the idea is, but I don't think it's sustainable the way it is. And I think it's something that 343 has to address. For sure.
Yeah, so Slow-Mo, can I go to you? Slow-Mo, I'm going to go to you right now. I want to say, though, now everything Merc said, I completely agree. That was outstandingly put. But Slow-Mo, my question to you then, the follow-up, because you don't have to repeat that. I think a lot of people agree with what Merc said. The follow-up is, will people wait around 6 months, 12 months, maybe longer, until this whole progression system is weeded out and fixed, when you've got tons of competition every single year coming out and trying to take that crown, right? And next year, everyone's down on Vanguard. That's fine. Vanguard, I still think, held its own for being the least liked in the three. And next year they're going to have Modern Warfare, and that's huge.
That's going to do really well.
So my question to you, Slow-Mo, is take into consideration my question and also Merc's points. Will people be willing? Because we're living in the era of what have you done for me lately. So are people going to be willing to wait 6 to 12 to 18 months for things to get fixed?
No, I don't think if it's going to take them that long to fix the battle pass, they're missing out on their opportunity to take a lot of mind share when it comes to in 2021 and the shooter demographic of gamers away from Call of Duty and Battlefield. I'm looking at the like I actually looked at the Twitch stats about this earlier today, and Halo was the outside of Warzone, Halo was the most watched game shooter between those three earlier today, and I'm looking at it now, and the numbers are much higher for all three, and they're still the most watched out of the three. That can change very drastically. We saw that with Splitgate. When Splitgate, showed up on console, and everybody was like, "Damn, what is this? This is like Halo, but like modern. I love it with portals." And then, like after a month, like there was an entire time period where people were waiting like 30 minutes just to play the game. Just to play the game. They're just sitting there waiting at the screen, waiting at the queue to get in. And now the game is back to its pre-console launch numbers. Because why? Because there were things that needed to be addressed, and 1047 games was too small to address them. 343 is not like that. They're way bigger than 1047 games. They can be able to address these things quickly. And one thing I think they really need to do to address it is address the progression and reward people for winning.
Hey, Slow-Mo, that's the part that baffles me about this whole thing with 343i. Like, they're not a small studio. Like, and there's examples of what not to do in the free-to-play setting. And it's like, no one got the memo. Like, what is going on here? Like,
Ricky, hold on. I want to address, like, what they can do to fix this will also address the other issue that people have with people not playing the modes and not playing the objectives correctly.
I have people quitting.
But that's part of the reason why, like, you got people in there, you play with randoms, and the randoms are just doing TDM, even though the modes capture the flag.
Yeah.
So they're not capturing the flag.
I was playing with Mooch.
It's zero incentive to actually capture the flag. There's zero incentive to capture the flag because if you lose, whether you win or lose,
I was
experience
playing with Mooch, and Mooch was playing the objective, like not playing the objective, he's playing the
the battle pass.
The battle pass, like he was.
I do that sometimes because he's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "I gotta get these pistol kills." So give me a minute.
Because that's the only progression that's currently in the game
terrible.
now. Now, if you change it to say, if you make it so like right now they got this ever persisting challenge where just playing a match gives you 50 experience. That wasn't there initially, but they added that in very quickly. If you could do that very quickly, you could also add in very quickly a challenge where ever persistent challenge. If you win a multiplayer match, do you get 100 experience?
Yes, exactly.
Just do like make little things like that. If you are the top player on your team, then that'll
make a big difference.
Additional 50. This would make it so because you could have 30 kills and 2 deaths, but if the mode is strongholds and you didn't capture any strongholds, you're at the bottom of the list. You're not going to get that bonus. Like, they need to do little things like that to incentivize people actually playing the mode for what it is instead of just doing whatever. And that would take care of the complaints of people not playing the game correctly, as well as people feeling like their progression is nothing because there's a guy on their team that went 0 for 30. And he got the same amount of experience as you did, and you did with 20 for 10. Like, I put in all the work.
Yes, that's true.
And that guy stood over in the corner and hid and died a lot, and he still got the same experience as me. That's demoralizing.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like in the free to play setting, like you're gonna be less lenient on those things if it's free to play. If you pay money into a game like that, where it requires you to grind. You are going to stay engaged because you paid money, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that puzzles me about 343i and this whole battle pass thing, XP, is that it's free to play. So why would you not do things that benefit that free to play model? That because that people are not going to stick around if there's no money invested in it. They're not going to. Right? Does that make sense, guys? Like, if you're more invested in something monetarily, you're going to stick around. I paid $60 for this game, and so I'm going to stick around. This is not that. And there's examples of free to play games where they could have implemented some of these things, quality of life things, and they just haven't. So I really hope they do. But So
I mean, you're right, Brett, because even though no one's playing Battlefield, but I did drop $80 on the game, so I still play a match or two every night. That broken game,
Mm-hmm.
but by the same
playing
token, what Slow-Mo was saying,
no.
since the progression is so broken in Halo as far as the battle pass, it's the reason why I like playing ranked, because your performance and you winning matters, and you being able to rank up. So right now, I think I'm a Platinum 1 or a Platinum 2, something like that. And
How many ranked matches you have to play to get that, Mark?
You got to play at least 10, and then you get an
that's what I thought. Okay, all
time
right.
from there.
I think I'm probably that then. All
I
right.
do like what they did with ranked, where it's like there's open rank, so it's just like whatever. It's like PC players, it's mouse and keyboard, it's whatever, right? It's full stacks in there, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But they also have the solo duos where the maximum in a fire team can be only two.
Yeah.
And then you can also pick and choose which input is being used. So if you're playing keyboard and mouse, then you would go into the keyboard and mouse ranked, and everyone in there is playing keyboard and mouse like you. If you don't want keyboard and mouse at all, you're only playing controller, then you'll play controller, and then they actually have ranks for all three of those. So there's open, solo duos, controller, solo duos, keyboard and mouse. I thought that was a very smart idea.
It was a super smart idea.
The fact that sometimes people don't get progression, sometimes people don't lose progression when they lose. And then there was one streamer in particular on stream, his game like crashed or something, and he lost like 50% of his progression in Diamond.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna stop on the game until this gets fixed. So it's just like, they got some work to do there.
Yeah, the stakes are high.
Yeah.
The stakes are high and ranked. So it's like that's why you haven't heard me complain too much about the battle pass, because since I enjoy playing ranked so much, the stakes are already high. You take one loss and you'll lose 30-40% of your rank in whatever you're at. You know what I'm saying? So your performance matters, and whether you win or lose matters. So even if you lose, but let's say you go 30-5, your ranking doesn't drop as much. You know what I'm saying? But if you go negative and you took a loss, man, listen, you might be headed to gold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I
So
haven't really.
Stakes are high in ranked. Yeah, stakes are
Go
high.
ahead,
in
Forte.
ranked.
That's why I haven't really complained about it. It is a problem when it comes to the battle pass, but I pretty much live in ranked. The only thing that frustrates me about ranked is when you're playing in there, the getting a lot of the different weapon objective kills, because it's BR start. It kind of hurts you in that regard, but
that's the problem,
I will
though,
literally,
that's the
I
problem,
literally
bro.
will play rank over anything else in this game, just because it's a better experience for me. Unless
100%.
I'm playing unless you're playing with your friends, then you just play BTB and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Ranked is the best.
depending on how many people you got. Yeah.
Ranked is the best because everything matters. Your performance matters, whether you win matters. Everything matters in there. You make one mistake, you take an L, no problem. They got a spot for you. The next level down.
That's it. I think what should also be addressed eventually is the whole skill-based matchmaking on everything.
Yeah.
I don't think, like in quick play, I don't think you should have skill-based matchmaking in quick play. But in ranked, absolutely, there should be zero modes that don't have skill-based matchmaking in ranked. You should be going up against everybody within your rank. Period. But in quick play, like, why is quick play just as sweaty as ranked sometimes? I'm like, yo,
it does, right? Yes.
You want to see quick play sweaty? Go ahead and party up with 3 or 4 people. You're going to be playing other squads. You're not going to play randos that are all playing solo.
Right.
So it's like,
that's right.
If you're playing in a squad, you're going to play other squads. If you show up in quick play and you play solo, yeah, man, you might go 30-5 because you're playing a bunch of randos that don't know how to play Halo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you, Mark. But I like what Slow-Mo's point was. I'm going to say shout out to Royal Boyle 78. He says, what's good, Crossfire? Here to always show support to the Mooch man. Shout out to Royal Boyle. He says, hope the panel in the chat are doing well. He goes, Enrique, more shots, buddy. More. No, Royal Boyle. No, absolutely not. No, we have to put a governor on the great BRAP.
Don't make you horny.
Oh, man.
Shout out. Now, here's a question for you guys before we switch subjects. CB3 says,
Hey, Mooch, sorry, go ahead.
well, I think this is a really important question because, you know, we all say, I hope this and that. And I heard Slow-Mo say, you know, they need this. And I'm curious why they did that. He says, Halo 343 Industries took a play out of the Ubisoft playbook. He said, make it grindy, turn it into a problem for themselves, and then sell you a fix or solution later. I guess that's where I kind of want to move on from Halo. I'm enjoying it, but there's so many people in the community, okay? Halo fans as well, by the way. Okay, not just people that are fair weather Halo fans, like hardcore. If there's all of these things that everybody has been seemingly want, and they say, well, they'll, you know what, like even Merc said, they'll fix it later. They'll give it to us later. We'll assume it's coming later. Yeah. And you say, well, wait, this thing had an infinite budget. It had 1,200 people at one point, probably contractor and internal working on it. They've had about 6 years on it, which is longer than most games. And longer than Bungie's ever had for their others, right? I mean, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. Why seemingly are they going this, in the case of CB3's super chat where he said they're taking Ubisoft's methodology, I'll just say, why is it that we have to do so much telling when we're supposed to be doing all the playing?
I'm just going to give you just my little
Go
thoughts.
ahead, Forte.
I think for the most part, everybody has to figure out how it is for themselves. Everybody thinks they can create the wheel and do it differently. Some people, a lot of developers kind of think their game is, not can't be contagious when it comes to like the whole free to play model and stuff. They say our game, Halo is a juggernaut. People are going to play Halo no matter what. But then you start hearing about people complaining about it, and they don't think that could be their game and stuff. I just think in general, they got to learn that, just because you made a game that everybody loves doesn't mean that they're just going to live with just the results that you gave them. And it's just that they wanted to try something different, and they wanted to try to make their game stand out. But the thing is, this never works for them or anybody that does it because there's such a blueprint out there. We always complain like games like Destiny and stuff had the blueprint. Why would you continue to keep doing what you saw didn't work? That's because all these developers want to fail on their own instead of failing because of what somebody else did. But then they realized later that, oh, yeah, this is why it definitely didn't work in this game, and we should have just never did it in the first place. But they got to fail on their own before they decide to do something different. And that's just my opinion on it.
You know what? To Forte's point, I think people don't understand. Like, if you're not like a hardcore like Halo fan, I don't think people understand how vocal and how annoying Halo fans can be.
Very
343.
Very annoying.
Like there are fans, and then there are Halo fans. It's not like no. This is not what you're gonna do with Halo. You're gonna do this with Halo.
Yes.
And they will blow up their Twitter account for a year on end until they change it, and they will. That's the reason why I say Halo, unlike most games, their fans are rabid. These are not normal people. All right, these people will drive you crazy until you change the game, and they will.
Yeah, they'll change it. It just comes down to the community putting them in the position to do it. But once again, they're going to feel like they can do what they want to do with the game. But ultimately, the community is the one that builds this game. The reason Halo 5's multiplayer got as good as it got at certain points is because of the community. They had the tools in place initially by bringing all of the different esports personalities just to go off of like the gunplay of the game. So that was the foundation. But 343 went in a completely different way when it came to like the way it was implemented. And guess what? The community let them know, and the community fixed the game for them. I just always get irritated with companies when they feel like, well, this is how it is in other games. We don't want to do it that way because we want to try something different ourselves. But they always can fall back on that whole thing like, well, we tried, the community. Yeah. This is what the community wants. So the community backlash is going to make us do something different.
Oh, 100%.
So that's literally where I think this whole thing is coming from. And I would not be surprised, like Merc said earlier, on December 8th, they're going to come out and say, hey, remember all that stuff y'all were complaining about when it came to like all of the different playlists?
Here it is.
Oh, here's all the playlists.
Okay, I think that's fair though. But the one problem I have is this: is that they were advertising this as a beta, but they're charging you microtransactions and not including a playlist. That's a problem.
I agree with you. I agree. I'm not saying I don't disagree.
Why would you charge money but not include a playlist like that?
I agree.
That's a problem. And the other thing I will say is this: like with with this game is that this is probably from a multiplayer perspective, like this is probably the most balanced the weapons have been If you play Fiesta right now, you'll see the weapon imbalance. But
that's trash.
Yeah, but that's always been Fiesta. It's always been like power weapons always.
Fiesta's just chaos.
Let me ask you this to what you just said, on your point that you just said about, not the balance, but just the play modes and stuff. The only thing I'll kind of fight you on when it comes to that is the simple fact that it also goes back to the whole thing I was just saying a minute ago. They're going to let the community be the gauge of how this goes, because part of me thinks the reason they did like no playlist like that, they basically just put everything in just 3 different hoppers when it comes to big team, rank and quick play. If they was to put out the whole playlist in the beta, like playlists everywhere, how would you know what game modes really resonated with people on a consistent basis? When you make it so shallow like it is right now, you see what game most people quit, because trust me, people quit games all the time.
You could track that in a beta.
Well, you could
listen.
Not just that, but slow-mo. Forte.
When you're forcing people to do it, you're basically saying, okay, we're going to herd everybody where we want them to go, and then we're going to weed out the stuff that they don't want.
I think Forte.
What Forte is trying to say is that they may think that some people aren't giving some of these modes a chance.
Exactly.
They just want Slayer, and that's it. So if you force them to do the mode, they might actually like it, versus them already prejudging it and saying, "Ball's trash." So I'm not checking off playing it.
And to Forte's point, I never looked at it that way, because I was one of those that hated Oddball.
Yeah, now
Oddball has become one of my favorite modes.
If you give people the choice to pick, then could we conclude the fact that if you give people the choice to pick, you get an idea what they're going to gravitate to naturally because they're picking it.
We already know that, though, because people, when they play objectives, they don't even play the objective. They play Slayer, which is what 90% of the people want to play anyway.
The thing is, though, what I was going to say to Forte...
Why not give them that option, then?
The thing I was going to say to Forte...
Because they know that's... Because, listen, they know that's what people... Okay, listen. If they already know what people are going to pick and play...
So if they know that, why not give it?
Because they're going to give you that when the full game comes out anyway. But they want to introduce something different. I'm trying to tell you, it's all about the psychology of getting people to do what you want them to do until they don't do it.
If you want something and they're giving it to you, you're going to go there anyway.
I think, well, and maybe I'm looking at BRAP. Maybe this is. Let me put it in a different way. Forte, you had said, and I agree with you, but I'm just going to look at the other side of the coin, because I think you can get the data from both sides. You said they're not giving you the option because they're going to see who quits the games. Who's actually going to stop playing? Well, hear me out. You can also tally data if you give everybody options on what they do click on. So,
exactly.
Right. So what I'm saying to you is if it's a 90,
we already know what people are going to click on, because they have that data from other games. That's the thing. But they did variations of those games in this one. They don't. They're not like Eyeball plays the exact same, but they made look at it like
there's no variation.
No. Listen. When I mean variation, I'm talking about player-based variation. You got more people playing this game at this time than probably ever play Halo 5 when it came.
You
to
don't know that, Forte. First
no,
of all,
I said you heard me say probably.
You know what? I got a very good example for Enrique. Enrique, don't you love planting seeds?
You talking about
That's what I'm talking about. In big team battle, there's a
planting seeds.
It's called.
But basically, there are these seeds.
You talking about me having babies.
He's talking about stockpile.
No, that's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about the mode that you
that's
talking about for 2 days. You couldn't stop talking about this mode for 2 days in big team battle, because you're planting seeds and you was having fun throwing the seeds back to Africa and getting them back to our base and all that stuff. You have fun in that mode. Now imagine
I didn't.
Now imagine if they made it a choice and you didn't know what that was. You were just like, man, nah, forget that. I just want big team battle Slayer, and you just unchecked everything but Slayer. I think this is why they wanted people. They have new modes. They have strongholds. They have total control. They got that seeds mode that I can't remember the name to.
But they can give options.
Hold on, Enrique. I'm getting there. They want people to try out new things so that it's not just nothing but Slayer, and a bunch of people who do want to play these other modes don't have actual like population to actually get into games with. Now, what I think, I'll say this again because I said it earlier in the show, what Splitgate did was they made it so there's a minimum amount of modes that you can check. You can't just say, I want Slayer and that's it. You got to have 3 modes checked. So if you're going to have Slayer, that's cool, but you got to also check strongholds and one other thing. And that will force you to play other things, and maybe you might actually like it. And so that kind of gives, like, it's a balance of 2 things. I agree with you that not giving people a choice isn't good. And I also agree with Forte that they did it for a reason, because they want people to play something more than Slayer, and especially considering they think that people might actually like it if they give it a chance.
But don't they know, like, this is not a new franchise. Don't they know that though at this point?
These are new modes.
These are new modes with okay, new modes, man.
What are they? Okay, so
and as much as you want to say there's not new people playing this game, there are definitely new people playing the game that probably never played it before.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Especially now, because the game, you got newer generations of gamers out here. You got your Fortnite guys out here now, and
this is
and Halo's been gone for 6 years, so there's a whole.
But see, my point.
I'm never gonna agree with Forte, by the way. So, but I agree with you. So
well, no, you know what's funny though?
I'm right.
I think, and again, we don't have to ask the question again. I'll just say it rhetorically to the chat because I want to move on to the next subject. But you know what Forte said there that's important is that new people are playing the game. And again, my question rhetorically for everybody as we go through the weeks is, how many of these new people will remain with the game? That's the one thing I'm seeing a lot of. And listen, it's nothing.
That depends on that battle pass.
It depends on the battle pass, and it depends on
battle royale.
I was gonna say the modes and content that 343 keeps on hopefully giving us as we progress forward. I do want to talk about. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I just want to say that real quick. The one thing that's great about Halo, and I'll say this, is that the gameplay mechanic, like the balance, the weapon balance for the most part, are spot on. Like this game is for a arena shooter. You know, the frantic pacing, the weapon balance, it's really good. It's really good, and I just hope that 343 doesn't drop the ball on this, because I think this game's got a lot of potential. Like, I go back to everyone's playing Fiesta right now. Fiesta is showing you how, in my opinion, like how great the weapon balance is, like from regular, like Slayer matches or capture the flag matches, but. It's a really good game for an arena-based shooter, and the rave right now is battle royale, and I don't think I've played a really good arena-based shooter in a long time, and this is really refreshing.
Yeah,
I think the foundation is great with this game. But the problem is still, it's just it's bare bones right now. That's what it is right now. There's a lot of things, like you said, when it comes to the game modes and stuff, and I'll never disagree with that, but it's a lot of stuff missing that should be in the game. The game isn't even going to be whole. It's going to be still missing 2 parts of itself, even when it does launch on December 8th.
But the weapon balance is spot on.
No, the weapons. Well, that's the reason people love the game.
It's better than a lot of
use a couple of tweaks here and there. Like,
no doubt.
Appreciate them nerfing the commando from the flight. I don't think the commando needed to be nerfed. That was
my go-to slow.
They dropped
that was just it was a small clip size though. Slow-mo. That was my only problem with the commando. It's 20 rounds. I do want to switch subjects here, and it's still another sensitive subject. We did discuss it. Briefly last week, which is why I kind of want to talk about it, and that is the Game Awards. I know that I just want to, and again, we're not going to harp on it for long.
You're biased.
Crap, I want to hear what Crap has to say. I know Crap has been kind of vocal about this when it comes to it. I myself personally didn't have much of a problem with, and listen, I'm in the same camp, so if anyone's listening to the show now or later, and you're a huge Forza Horizon 5, and you feel like Forza got snubbed, I thought Returnal got, kind of snubbed a bit there too, but that's because that was my choice. But I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about it. I even though Returnal's not in the choosings, I do believe that the panel picked the way that the panel generally picks. I'm not there. I don't know. But I did want to kind of go, Crap, I know you're muted right now. I don't know if Crap's here right this very second. I did want to kind of get his opinion on it because he was very, very vocal about it. But if anyone does want to chime in, anybody feel that the way that the process has been going over the years, that there's a bit of a problem here? I'm kind of torn this year because I didn't think that, Forza Horizon 5 really should be game of the year, and the one game that I thought didn't get it either. So I'm kind of sitting here going, okay, I guess I'm going to pick from what's left out of the bunch. So I don't know. Anybody want to jump in on this? I don't know. Forte, Slow-Mo, Merc, any of you guys?
I'll be honest. I'm okay with the way that it's sorted right now. The reason why I don't believe that I think the gamer should have the majority to say for the awards is because, unfortunately, like in the gaming community, a lot of people fall in love with their plastic boxes.
Oh yeah,
and they make emotional decisions based on that. So because of that, I can't say, I don't know, maybe there's a better way, but I do think that the media should have the majority say on who gets nominated and who gets Game of the Year. It's not perfect, but it's better than going the other direction.
Well, they have a Player's Choice Award too. You know what I mean?
They do.
So, I mean, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, it's funny, people are like, oh, it's the Oscars, it's this and that, why is the media picking the winners? Because it's the media's award show. That's what this award show is. And if you want to vote for the Player's Choice, you have the option. Every year,
Correct.
Jeff Keighley goes to this. He's like, guys, if you want to vote for the, if you want your vote to be counted, you vote for the Player's Choice. We have that. Outside of that, this show is geared towards the media.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Did they do Player's Choice last year or no?
What's that?
I don't remember them doing a Player's Choice Award last year.
They do it every year.
They do it every year.
I remember who won it last year. I do remember voting for Fire Emblem Three Houses 2 years ago, as that was my game of the year that year.
That's a great game of the year, by the way.
And I felt it should have been a nominee, but it didn't make it. And because usually those kind of strategy RPGs don't really get into game of the year like that. But
it's just shocking to me that people don't understand how the awards work.
Yeah.
It's like there's a gaming media site. Let's just take for example, like Mooch had the Mooch.com, right?
Right.
And at Mooch.com,
great site.
There's 100 people that work there, right? Great website.
Absolutely.
Right? And I'm the president, and so
he's not just the fan; he's also the president. It's great.
I'm the president. Yeah. So and so we get together.
Yes.
We get together. There's a meeting. We get together for Jeff Keighley's awards. And we have to vote. We have to vote.
Gotta vote.
So how many of us have played Forza Horizon 5? 2 of us have had, and the rest of the 30 of us have not. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to work that way. Because they can't, the other 30 people that haven't played Forza Horizon 5 can't vote for that game of the year because that would be unethical because they never played it.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's how this thing works.
Even if Forza Horizon 5 came out in September, I don't think it was going to get nominated for get a nomination for Game of the Year.
I don't either.
It's a racer, and those racers just aren't looked at the same as other games that come out.
It's not that though. It's that people in these media sites don't play those games, and it comes down to a voting of what have we played collectively together. Right, as a team, and what are we going to vote as Game of the Year? And if only 2 people or 1 person has played Forza Horizon 5, and the rest of us have played, Returnal, that's how the voting's going to work out.
Right. I think when it comes down to it, it was funny because we had a couple of panel members on over the past few weeks. We've been discussing Game of the Year. And for me, I think when it comes down to it, I don't, and this goes for GT Sport. Okay, this goes for Gran Turismo 7 next year when it's in discussion. It goes for Forza Motorsport. It goes for Call of Duty. It goes for Madden. It goes for FIFA. I think when you keep making an iteration, whether it comes out every year or it comes out every other year, I think it's really difficult to make a case for Game of the Year. I like to see Game of the Year be that new, ingenuitive, like creation, right? something different. I know a lot of people will go, well, Mooch, how come Resident Evil 8's in there? It's basically a 7 clone, which, by the way, I know I'm in the minority here, but I preferred 7 way more than 8. But like,
I'm with you, Mooch.
Thank you. There's like 3 of us on the island. Grab a coconut. I'll be honest with you. I think that
game is going to win. I actually think Village is going to win.
So do I. So do I.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I agree with Slow-Mo because I think more people played that game.
I think almost everybody we know played that game.
Yeah. And even though you guys kind of didn't you liked 7 more, I felt like the appeal for it, the overall like general feeling for Village was that most people liked it.
Agree.
And I think it would be a safe bet to just vote for that over anything else, honestly.
I agree.
Yeah, and I don't. And pardon me, because I had them last week. I don't have them in front of me now this week. All the nominees, but I think that you're right. I definitely think it's going to go to Resident Evil. But do you see my point when I say what I'm saying about like racers or football, whether it be Madden or whether it be FIFA or whether it be Call of Duty or Battlefield?
You talking about the Jets, Mooch?
They're great. No, definitely not the Jets. But nonetheless, I do think that's the thing. Don't you guys feel like that's the argument I think we should be having? It wasn't necessarily that Forza Horizon 5 is a fine game. It's fine. But I don't think that it's necessarily that game that defined 2021. I mean, am I alone?
No. I mean, you're not alone with that. No.
I mean, typically games that win Game of the Year are games that kind of, shifted the bar, shook the industry,
or left a lasting impact on you, Merc.
Yeah, of course. Like for example, I always refer back to 2018 because that was one of the more interesting Game of the Year award years. That's when we had God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2, right?
Yes,
and that was back and forth. And those are 2 of my favorite games. That generation.
To this great point, Merc. To this day, I think that's the nail biter that I'll probably never forget.
So good, right? So I always say, did Forza Horizon 5 hit like God of War or Red Dead Redemption 2? No, it didn't. It's a great game, but it's not. It didn't shake the industry like that. So I reserve that award for an industry-shaking game. You know what I mean? And
I do.
Horizon's not that. It's a great game, but it's not that.
Yeah, no, I completely.
And we don't have any industry-shaking games in the Game of the Year category this year.
We do not.
No, so it's.
I actually feel this is one of the lighter years for me in gaming. I did not play Returnal, and I'm not interested in playing Returnal. That's not my kind of game.
I think I think we have Bucks next.
Yeah.
Game of the Year.
Oh, damn.
Absolutely not. How dare you say this slanders?
But for those that like Returnal, for some people, that game was that.
Game of the Year.
It's not my kind of game. That's why I didn't play it. But for those that loved it and did, I understand. If that was that for you, then
that's
you have
the
a genuine gripe.
That's the game, Merc, for me personally. And again, I wouldn't put this past anybody else or anybody in the chat. It's funny because a couple of people are saying, Psychonauts 2. I thoroughly enjoyed Psychonauts 2. But again,
great game.
But again, I would not say that it was the memorable game for me of the year. I enjoyed it. I laughed out loud a bunch with it. I thought the graphic art style was great. But when I think about this year and just the trials and tribulations in a game that was impactful for me, that was just kind of sit at home, it was Returnal. But guess what? Returnal's not an option. So it is what it is. That's fine. I think that when it comes down to it, I think Resident Evil will probably take the cake. I do want to read the super chat before we move to the next subject here. Navigator 3221, he says, Flight Simulator being nominated for a category at 1 in 2020 seems suspect. Will God of War 18 get nominated next year when the PC port drops? Probably not.
I think he has a good point there because usually I think it's always been kind of well accepted that if a game comes out in say 2019 and then gets a re-release on more platforms in 2020, that doesn't mean it's eligible for any categories because it's the same game just being released on different platforms. It's not like it's a new game or a remaster or a remake or anything. It's the same game. Mm-hmm. So like Hades coming out on Xbox and PlayStation doesn't mean that Hades would be eligible for anything, although personally, for me, Hades is about me playing Hades this year is my first time playing it. It's my favorite game that I played this year. But that doesn't mean that it deserves to be nominated for anything in 2021 because it came out in 2020 and there was a Game of the Year nominee in 2020, and that's where it should stay. I do agree that Flight Simulator being nominated for an award that it won last year simply because it was on PC, but now it's on Xbox. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, that does kind of ask the question. So is God of War going to be up for something next year because it's releasing on PC? It obviously won't. But why was Flight Simulator allowed back in this year? Is it because there's not enough simulation games to put in there? I don't know what the answer to that is.
That's interesting, yeah.
Man, that could be. I mean, considering that the media outlets have to vote on this stuff, right? So they got to pull from things that are, Jeff Grubb says, although Hades is probably Game of the Year. Grubb, I agree with you.
Yeah. Compared to these games this year, Hades is well above them.
Yeah, but I think that's something to say.
Well, Hades was last year, correct?
Right.
Yeah, but
and it had no chance. But I also have this theory that every year Jeff Keighley's award show has one token indie game. Every year there's a token indie game. It's just like, hey, thanks for showing up. Thanks for you did so great this year. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Now stand over in the corner and clap your hands when the Game of the Year gets nominated. It gets announced, okay? Because you're not winning. We're just be glad that you're up here with these giants, okay? But that was Hades last year. The year before that was Celeste. So it's good game, this year. It takes two. It Takes Two is that game this year. It Takes Two
to make things go right. Sorry for
that. Yeah, but no, but that's the way it works, and I kind of feel like, yeah.
Forte, I'm sorry. Slow-mo, it's funny, like, you don't talk about this.
Yes, Enrique, I know we do a podcast together.
No, I know.
We sound alike.
very, very similar, right?
Yeah, because Slow-mo sounds actually more smarter. I'm just joking.
Oh, my God.
There you go, Forte. BRAP, hold on. Optimus backs away. He says, Ratchet and Clank shake the universe. Now, it's funny. A lot of people really feel that's again. I'm going to go ahead and say, I played Ratchet and Clank, and you guys got to know. I always put my feelings out there first. I respect Ratchet and Clank for what the Insomniac does. I think they're a phenomenal team. You guys know that. But Ratchet and Clank didn't. I wouldn't vote that for Game of the Year either. But that's me. I wouldn't. Yeah. I don't feel, because I feel, again, like the same comment I have when it comes to the racers and the FIFAs and the Call of Duties and the Battlefields. Ratchet and Clank, I thought the Ratchet and Clank progression was much, they utilized a lot of the PS5 hardware. I thought it was great, the ray tracing, all that good stuff. But, I feel like we've enjoyed a lot of these. I also feel like, a Mario Odyssey 2 shouldn't win Game of the Year. I'm probably in the minority there if that ever came out. But I feel that's the way I feel about it. Yeah, so Optimus, not to say I disagree with you, but I kind of disagree with you.
I agree with you, Mooch. I actually played Ratchet and Clank to the 2016 version, right before I played Rift Apart. And there aren't, gameplay-wise, many differences between the two. They actually use a lot of the same weapons. The only real difference is that narrative-wise, cutscene-wise, visually, it blows the previous version away, and they added in on the narrative side Rivet.
Right? Think about that, right?
But I think a big criticism of Rivet is the fact that she doesn't play any differently.
No, she
doesn't.
Does.
And there also doesn't make any sense why she will have weapons that Ratchet will unlock or get from the vendor, and then now she has them for no reason and no explanation of why. It's just like, wow, they really just didn't change.
Yeah, that part of it was lazy.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to, and I appreciate Andrea Piccini stop by. I appreciate Andrea stopping by. I want to say though, she said I'm not going to watch the Game Awards, and here's my thing about that. I genuinely, well, hold on, wait. I enjoy the Game Awards for something different. I like that the Game Awards have brought gaming to the front stage. We were talking about this before the show, Merc. Remember we were talking about this. When it was just like podcasting back, 6-7 years ago, we were kind of talking about it. And we didn't even know that we were able to talk about gaming then. Like gaming was so like under wraps, and now gaming is a huge topic in the office. Like Never would I talk about it. Now people are like, oh my God, what's going on with this? They'll come up and ask, like, oh, Series X, PlayStation 5. Hey, don't get me wrong. There's still very, very novice questions, but these are questions that people would never ask about gaming that you're getting from a casual group. And guess what? I welcome that with open arms. I think that's great. I think the more people that are into gaming, the better. So the one reason that I say go and support the Game Awards isn't because of anything, that you would think is awful. But I just think that it's good for gaming overall. Do you guys agree with that?
You got the
yeah, I'm working on it. I apologize. Yeah. I was trying to get my point across, and whenever I get my point across, then I'm going over to do that. So I apologize in advance. But nonetheless, so anyways, Andrew, that's my point to use. I would still say that I encourage you to watch the show, and this is something coming from me, where years ago I would have said something very similar. And I now sit back, grab my popcorn, and just enjoy it because there's a lot of good things that come from the Game Awards, and like I say, I think it puts gaming on the front stage where before it was only music, it was only movies, and now video games get to share that stage. That's why we have the big actors doing cameos, right? Yeah. You have big release. You know what I mean? There's a lot of great things. So Mooch, I think that's important.
Yeah, Keeley's Awards are it's a marketing thing for the industry, and whether or not you agree with the nominees, whatever the case is. Celebrating at the end of the day, it's an opportunity for new releases or new games to be shown, and consoles in some cases, as Microsoft did. It's a celebration of the industry, and that's to me is the most important thing. It's just and if you want I hear people talk about, oh well, you know what, it's not the Oscars. If you want that, follow the DICE Awards. DICE is very much more industry specific.
DICE is very, very well received too in the industry, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, BAFTA's another one. But this award show, it's the mainstay from a marketing perspective, and it's great. Like I don't have an issue with it, and I don't understand why people get upset at Jeff Keighley. It's a great show. It's entertaining. We get new game trailers. Sometimes we get console releases, or with the Xbox Day,
also
with the
reveals,
Xbox. Yeah,
that's why people tune into the Game Awards. They tune in for what might be shown. Like I'm sitting in the party chat last night, and we're talking about what might be released. But shoot, on DPS last Tuesday, my bad, I forgot what we did on Tuesday.
Yeah, you did on Tuesday.
We were talking about what might actually. Leave me alone, Enrique. We were talking about what we thought might actually get revealed as well, and it's just like, because that's what the Video Game Awards is about. It's a popularity contest, and it's a big showcase, and it's a big hoo-ha and all that. But it's really what people, at the end of the day, when this show's over, only thing people are going to talk about is the one award that people care about, Game of the Year. Yeah, they ain't going to talk about any of the other awards, and they're going to talk about everything else that was revealed. The games, with who. What game was shown for the first time ever, all that kind of stuff.
My biggest gripe when it comes to the Game Awards is just its length. And shout out to the great Jeff Grubb who's here in the chat. Jeff literally, if you guys want to have fun, honestly, I'll be doing this. While I'm watching the Game Awards, I have my phone next to me, and I'm literally just watching Jeff as he tweets. Like Jeff was, I think, equal. Jeff, if I'm misspeaking, I'll correct myself in the chat. But Jeff literally was so upset.
Fast and Furious 2, by the way. That's
hilarious. He was so upset. He goes, "Is this over yet?" It was because it was like 3.5 hours, and Jeff's like, his commentary throughout it was quite hysterical. So shout out to Jeff. I want to say also shout out to the great Gaming with Persona. Shout out to Gaming with Persona. Woo, looking forward to tomorrow's What's Up PlayStation with Jay Barry too. Persona, thanks for holding it down, buddy, for me. I appreciate that. But yeah,
it's way too long.
It's way too long.
He needs to cut out. He loves his musical acts, and he'll get like some rock band from the 2000s or the 90s to show up.
Those musical acts are great, man. Like the whole thing with the what's it called? Red Dead Redemption 2. That was great, man.
They are great. I just don't want to see them.
I love it.
Doing the Video Game Award show when we're already at 2.5 hours, and he trots out Green Day. Like, Green Day, go home. I want this to end.
Why did Green Day wait 2 hours? What were they doing back there? Yeah,
I like that though.
Oh man.
I could pass.
Well, I
want
to switch subjects.
Way too long.
I want to switch subjects and go to. I want to ask Merc a question here. I want to say shout out to Game of Persona again. He said no show this week. They're taking the week off for the holiday. Good move on your part, Persona. Get out there and enjoy some games. Like I said earlier when I started the show tonight, I was like, yesterday I was thinking, would I do a Crossfire because it is Thanksgiving week? And I said, you know what? I said, I think everybody just wants to, get on the air, kind of just speak a little bit. Everyone's been gaming quite a bit. I see so many friends online. I have been. It's been a lot of fun this past week. But I gotta say, man, shout out to Game of Persona, and do check out next week on What's Up PlayStation on Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time. But let me go, Merc. I'm gonna go to you real quick here, buddy, because I want to talk about this. This is a big deal too. And I need Persona. I wish Persona was on the panel right now. Persona and I have been doing a big push. Of course, we enjoy it. We're Call of Duty guys, right? Everybody knows that. We're COD fans. But Battlefield, right? And I said this a long time ago, and there's been plenty of tweets and people saying it in the industry now to kind of back it up. Besides the obvious issues, like Battlefield, I don't think, as much as Call of Duty repeats itself, I feel like Battlefield really didn't progress much. And like I said, the tornado and all that gets old quick. Merc, let me go to you. I mean, because you bought the Ultimate, the Gold Edition. Yeah, where are you on Battlefield from the day it launched, even considering the beta to where we are today? Are all of these negative connotations, are they worthy of what we're seeing online, or no, this game is better than we're hearing?
No, I'm okay. So I'll preface it with I'm a longtime Battlefield fan, right? So I played all the Battlefields. I have over 160 hours in Battlefield 5. I have probably about 200 hours in Battlefield 1. I've played a lot of Battlefield. This Battlefield launching merits the criticism that it's getting, right? It's not that the base for it to be a good game is not there, because I could see that the game could be awesome. But number one, let's talk about how it launched. It launched first of all, if you're going to have an early access game that launches, when you launch a game and you're paying extra in order to get access to that, you hope it works. I really couldn't play the game until the following day, which is okay. Merc, you're being too, there's a lot of people getting on. Okay, no problem. I log on to the game from the beta to what we played once I could log on in early access. Sure, the game ran better, but there was still a lot of glitches, right? And the game still ran kind of rough. I kind of feel the day one patch should have been there for the early release of the game.
Okay.
Which the day one patch did address a lot of things. However, they've put so much stock into this portal mode, which, don't get me wrong, Portal's great. It is phenomenal. You can go back and play, the old Battlefield maps with the new weapons, vice versa. You can create modes that should be in the game but are currently not there, like even TDM is not there. Right? There's a bunch of Battlefield modes that do not exist in Battlefield 2042. You have Conquest, you have Hazard Zone, and you have Breakthrough. Those are the 3 2042 modes. If those 3 modes you do not want to play, let's say you want to play TDM, well, you better head to Portal, because there's no other way to play that mode. So I kind of feel that the game launched incomplete. I think it launched with also 22 or 25 weapons, something like that. I may be off by a few. If I am, I'm not off by a lot.
Yes.
That's another huge problem. Like, just look at a game, and I know Battlefield 4 had a rough launch performance-wise when it launched, but if you look at the amount of weapons that game launched with, and attachments and customization, that's what made Battlefield 4 great. I kind of feel, man, 2042 is really lacking in that department. So I kind of feel a lot of the content, modes, weapons, all that stuff is really missing in the game. So the fact that the game is getting it's warranted.
So Merc, let me ask you this question before I open it up to the panel then.
Sure.
The same question I had for Halo, like everybody says in the panel. Mooch, be fair. All right, let's be fair. Yeah. So do you feel the changes that can come through the next 6 months, 12 months, etc. for Battlefield, will that be enough and fast enough to save the game, or will this kind of just drown out and people will go back to, and I say it all the time, Warzone, Fortnite, Apex? I mean, this is my concern when it comes to Battlefield and Halo right now is they're getting a lot of press because it's new, and new always gets more people in the seats, rightfully so.
100%,
but this is the time, and Slow-Mo said it himself, this is the time to shine. This is the time to shine. And if you don't have the product ready to go now, it doesn't mean you're listen. No game, even Call of Duty, right, had a couple of sparkling issues day one, but they've corrected a lot of them right away to where the game is got a lot of maps, a lot of modes, new modes. They're dropping the Pacific map drops for Warzone December 8th now, same day as Halo. I think Microsoft knew that. I think that's why the November 15th thing came. They got word. And they were like, oh, we don't want to go against Warzone. You know, I know a lot of Halo fans are like, come on, Mooch, that's bullshit. Halo can take on Warzone anytime.
I'm sure that played into it. No doubt.
I'm sure, and that's just my take. But nonetheless, whether you believe that's my take or not, that's going to be a huge, huge deterrent for Battlefield and Halo when that new map drops. And it's not just like they took Verdansk and they painted it a new color, right? It's a new map.
Correct.
So this is a big deal. Someone like me, I did that whole 20 years in the museum thing, and I was like, oh my God, I have so many hours in the Call of Duty. It's embarrassing to post. So, I'm going to be there. You know, December 8th, you guys want to know where I'm going to be? I'm going to be playing Warzone, probably for the better part of 24 hours. Right, I should probably stream it until I can. I have to go to sleep.
You should. You should. The relaunch of the Mooch Twitch channel.
That's right. Thank you, Merc.
There you go.
Merc knows. It's twitch.tv/TheMooch78. Who's plugging? Yeah, but what do you guys think about that? You know, Merc agrees. Slow-Mo, Forte, BRAP. Do you think that can Battlefield sustain the 6-month wait while they get things in order and fix things? Or is Battlefield maybe doesn't have the grace that Halo has? Halo's Halo, right? Halo can fix itself in, I think, 6 months to 12 months, and I think Halo would be all right. I don't know if Battlefield falls in that same category, or maybe you guys can correct me on that.
I think they will, Mooch. I think, if there's one thing that we've learned, I think there's a little divide between us, like the older gamers, we're in our 40s, and our kids.
Big facts.
Our kids will, be like, okay, we'll wait till it gets better. It's free. We'll come.
My son thinks Battlefield is flawless, by the way.
There you go. Merc. I have kids, and they're like, they think, they think PUBG's great. I'm like, really? Yeah. It's just, I think for a lot of us as content creators that are older, it's a different expectation. I think that when you introduce free, it's it's free, so I'm not going to complain. And for us, it's like, fuck that. We're going to complain because even though it's free, that's not an excuse.
It's funny you say that. That is true. Yeah. A lot of the things that we complain about, whether it's free or it's 60 or it's 70 or it's $100. You even heard Merc. And Merc, by the way, I've been in your case too. So I'm not using you as an example. I'm in the same boat as you. But you spent, rightfully so, $100 on one of your favorite games, and you're not even really playing it. You are, but you're playing Halo more, and that was a free. Yeah. But it's funny when BRAP says that, what he says does hold water. A lot of times, and again, I say this all the time to Xbox. Shout out to Xbox 448. He probably couldn't make it tonight because he is working. I was hoping he could have got here a little bit later. But I don't like to use a small census. But the kids, my kids, same as perhaps, when they're playing their free-to-play games, whether it be Fortnite or Apex or anything, they don't do the complaining that we do.
100%.
They really don't.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Really
they may not like the new skins that come out, or the Marvel this and that came out of Fortnite. They're like, that one's okay, but they don't care. They get right back. All they really care about is two things: wins, losses.
Facts.
Right? And you know what? Rightfully so. By the way. Rightfully so.
You know what though? It's an interesting question. I do think Battlefield can bounce back because there's two. I always reference two things.
They will. I think they will.
This has happened with Battlefield before.
Yeah.
In fact, the Battlefield 5 launch, I'll exclude that one because that was more a whole social issue and a whole other thing, and how true to life, whatever. But Battlefield 4 launched in a way worse state. Battlefield 4 was not playable. It was not playable when it launched. So I do think it can bounce back. And I'll give you another example of another game that launched with a terrible amount of content and just was a terrible game at launch, which has now ended up being one of the most successful FPS games last generation and is still being played now, which is Rainbow Six Siege. I think a lot of people have probably forgotten about that game. But that game, through updates and continuing to listen to the community and make changes and remarket the game and relaunch the game and battle passes and this. Yeah. Rainbow Six Siege is one of the most played FPSs even now. You know what I'm saying? So can Battlefield do it, which I think is a bigger franchise than Rainbow Six Siege is? Yeah, absolutely, and they've done it before in the past, so yeah, they'll be fine.
And Merc, that goes back to the point of like listening to like social media, like Facebook, the people on Facebook, the people that are on Twitter, the people that are on YouTube talking about your game engagement, right? It's not like games are not about how many games did I sell anymore at at GameStop or Babbage's. That those days are done.
Babbage's.
And and it's Babbage's, right? And
it was.
So it was, but
I know.
I think what we're seeing is like you're getting pockets of people that are like invested in social media. I discovered PUBG through Facebook, or I discovered Battlefield through Facebook. And that's how people are coming to games now. It's just a different beast than what I'll say me and Mooch. I don't know. I'm old, so
I'm old too, bro.
I'm old. He goes.
But it's different, Mark. It's different than how we used to how we grew up. Like even Halo. We talked about Halo tonight. Like Halo is different.
Yeah,
Halo's definitely different.
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad thing. It's an interesting thing, and I wonder how it's going to play out. But at the end of the day, these games still have to keep engagement.
Well, let me ask this though. Yeah. This is interesting to me because this is a game that I kind of want to be great. And again, shout out to Jeff Grubb. Jeff, if you have any information on this in the chat, let me know. So and I'm paraphrasing here. I don't have a quote. But the Cyberpunk 2077 developers over at CD Projekt Red said that their game, Cyberpunk, will be remembered. I'm not quoting them, as a great game eventually. Something to that nature.
I don't agree with that.
And my question is to you guys: can this ever happen? BRAP, you're saying no. You don't feel like that could possibly happen.
I think it's gonna be a game with an asterisk, right?
Yeah.
I think it gets to the point where
okay,
this game works now, it's great, but I mean it's different. It's different where there's a multiplayer component to it, right?
Yeah. I think it's easier for it to happen in a multiplayer game.
Yeah, where it's more dynamic, it's more new, it varies, it's ongoing. This game's not gonna be ongoing. It's ongoing in the sense it's gonna work the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people are gonna say, you know what? This game, great story. It finally worked. It's going to be an asterisk behind it, but I don't agree with the CD Projekt Red. I think this is going to be. I still think this is a big miss for them.
Yeah, I was so excited for this game. I took days off of work to play this game.
Yeah,
because I mean, prior to Witcher 3, I didn't play the other Witchers at the time when I played Witcher 3, and I sunk in 150 hours into Witcher 3 and beat it, and that game easily was in my top 3 games of all time. When I
Bloody Baron,
played it,
right?
Mark, classic. That's a classic mission right there.
So shout out to Gadget
mission too, man.
Shout out to Gadget. They said, and he quotes it. Gadget in the chat is. I'm quoting him. He's apparently looked it up. Thank you, Gadget. He said it will sell for years, especially as hardware gets more powerful and we improve the game. So thank you for that, Gadget. I appreciate that.
I don't know about that.
I don't agree with that sentiment at all. I do believe, though, it's a damn shame because I do think once the PS5 and Xbox Series X patches come to play, I went and bought brand new. It's still sealed. I got the steel book for $10, brand new.
Nice. That's
brand new. And I mean, the Great Gaming Forte was here. Forte, you said that was one of the largest, didn't you guys sell out? I know my GameStop sold out instantly. I grabbed it right away, and I know the manager here. He's like, dude, I knew you were going to come and get this. I'm like, how could you pass up a brand new Cyberpunk? Because I have it on PC. I bought it on PC, which it plays very well. It plays very well on PC.
It plays well.
What's that?
Best place to play games, PC, right?
No,
and it's funny. I heard shout out to
Mads.
Mads Gaming. I heard BRAP and Mads. I went and listened to you guys going over that, and it's funny because when it comes down to it for PC, and I know Slow-Mo's a big PC guy too. I just still prefer. Like I said, I have Cyberpunk on PC, and it plays well. I went and picked it up for PlayStation because when the PS5 version comes out, I just want to play it there. Now, if they had the Xbox
really
One for $10,
be a PS5 version at this point?
Well, that's a great question, Forte.
They said they
delayed it.
They delayed it till what? Was it early spring or spring?
Along with the Witcher 3 patch too. Along with the Witcher 3 next gen patch too.
Listen, this is here. Forte, let
By
me
the
answer
time
your
that thing
question.
Comes out, it's going to be almost irrelevant. It's already irrelevant.
It's already irrelevant.
It is irrelevant.
The game sells for $10
for,
right now.
for their own
Right.
reputation, they can't. They have to
Thank
come
you,
out.
Slow-Mo.
They have to bring it out.
Thank you, Slow-Mo.
Yeah.
Yes. And Gadget, shout out to Gadget in the chat again. He's got another quote from them. Will be considered a very good game in the long run. That's the thing. It'll do very. That's what he said. People consider it great down the road. That was me just kind of superimposing a bit onto them. But nonetheless, I think Slow-Mo just hit the nail on the head. That's the point I'm trying to drive home. CD Projekt Red doesn't necessarily have an option here to save face, to save the shine that this one once very, very decorated developing team had. They've got to put that out Slow-Mo, right? They gotta have that.
Shine on the turd.
Yeah,
You right.
because they're trying to make other games out, another Wisher game, they said, and they probably would do something beyond, maybe a new IP, maybe not go back to Cyberpunk again. But like the way their reputation is right now, they lost a lot of goodwill within the gaming community, as well as lost a lot of respect from the platform holders. You got like Microsoft looking at you sideways, like, man.
They got sued. Did they get sued?
From the platform holders, they did. It was a class action
I thought they got
lawsuit
sued
from the
by
gamers against them.
Yeah, I think Slow-Mo's right. They didn't get sued.
The stock traders or something.
Yes, they also sued as well because they told a lot of lies. They told a lot of lies to the investors. They told lies
Sounds
to
like
the
Bobby
gaming
Kotick.
community. Yeah, and they also went around and they promised to PlayStation that they would have all the issues that PlayStation saw when they were approving of the build that was going to get released on last-gen consoles. They said, these issues will be fixed, and they weren't. And that's usually, from what I've been told from people in the know, is that like when you are at a certain stature as a developer, they let certain things like that slide. They go, okay, look, you say you're going to have it fixed, because normally if it was just us here on this panel making a game, we wouldn't get that passed, because who are we, right? But your CD Projekt Red, you said you're going to have it fixed. Cool, you got it. Go ahead and fix that. Make sure it's ready.
If it's on Game Pass.
Oh man!
I'm just saying, right, Slow-Mo? I'm just saying.
Hey, look, man. Hey, look. So,
I wouldn't really put.
There's some broken games that have come out on Game Pass that people was like, nah, fam, like that Dungeons and Dragons game.
That's an interesting take, isn't it? Because now that they're just trying to save face, imagine if they did actually make a deal to put that on Game Pass when the Series X version's available. That's interesting.
I could see that happening.
I could too, actually.
I'd be like, we not putting this on Game Pass, so you come out with that Series X and S patch.
Yeah,
we're not putting the last gen version on Game Pass.
What if they didn't? What if they were like,
you know what though? Cyberpunk just got the hype because it was CD Projekt Red and the success of Witcher 3.
Yeah,
but I bought it on PC. I played it, but Cyberpunk just didn't hit like Witcher 3, man. It just didn't. You know what I mean?
No, it did.
Well, so you know what? I'll go ahead. I only played maybe a few 2, 3, 4 hours max of Cyberpunk.
And I got 20 in.
My problem, Merc, is the same as you, and the reason it didn't hit, it's clear is that the story is just. I thought it was meh.
It's okay.
I didn't care. It was like, now you got to go over here and do that. I was like, okay, but The Witcher. I'll be honest with you guys. The Witcher. I thought the side missions. We're better than the main missions. That's how good it was.
Hey,
and I'm not even including the DLC.
Hey, it is the only game I have done the side missions, and then you look and you're like, oh shit.
Yes.
I'm not playing. I'm not even playing the main mission.
Mark, I thought it was the bourbon talking to me. I'm like, am I still playing a side mission? What's happening here?
You know what though, Merc? I think Merc and Mooch. The reason why those missions were so engaging. Was because they spoke to the character who
Big
Phil was. Like, I mean, and they didn't do that in Cyberpunk to an extent. I mean, they kind of did. They tried to
because V is like a every man or every woman kind of character. Where it's very similar to something that David Gator, who's the lead writer of Dragon Age, said about Mass Effect. Mass Effect going to Amazon Video, Prime Video, potentially as a TV show. Yeah, and he said he kind of cringed because it's like it's really difficult to take the kind of game that Mass Effect is and convert it to a passive format because the way the storytelling is that Shepard as well as the protagonist of Dragon Age are very bland It's the other surrounding characters around them that make the storytelling so great. They put a lot of detail into that because that's where they could actually make it the same for everyone versus other players may choose to have their character a certain way or go renegade or go paragon, whatever.
That's the Bloody Baron. If you think about The Witcher 3, that's the Bloody
exactly.
Baron.
And see, that's how that's written. The Bloody Baron is amazing, but like, you know, your choices are your choices. So it's like it's difficult to be able to write that. It's not impossible, but it's just difficult. And so when it comes to Cyberpunk, the problem with Cyberpunk, and I beat it. I don't know if anyone else beat it, but I beat it.
I beat it too. I beat it.
I did not.
There are interesting characters like
love
Judy
my girl.
and Panem, you know, that everyone loves. But
Hannah,
like,
I made love to her.
okay,
No, I did it.
PG-13, BRAP.
Hey, why is that wrong? Wait, someone, is that wrong?
it's not wrong. You had the option to do that. I'm just saying, like,
I'm just saying, there's a choice, right? I made the choice to make love to her. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Are we shaming people for making love choices in games now?
Okay, all right,
Not if the developers let you, BRAP.
I'm just saying.
I'm not shaming you, Enrique. What I'm saying is that there aren't enough interesting characters in Cyberpunk to make it like a very memorable story. People always talk about Judy and Panem, and that's it.
But even Panem's not that.
And Johnny Silverhand like is very polarizing because some people feel like
he's very Keanu
what's his
Reeves,
name?
Keanu,
Some people feel like Keanu Reeves that kind of melded in. Some people feel like he was great. I kind of feel like he just like he didn't care. Like he was
kind of mid. In the 20 hours I played.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of mid.
And you know what, Slow-Mo? Like I felt like he was just there to collect a check.
That's what it seemed like. The way his lines were delivered, it was just like. And I mean, Keanu has a cadence to his speech that is what it is, right?
But it wasn't inspiring though.
It was like there was nothing that.
It was like everything he played, which is we're going to see in this next Matrix movie, by the way. Like it was okay for him, but for a video game, I'm like, I wanted more. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
I think he may have been miscast. I feel like they got him because he's such a big name.
Agreed.
And they were just like, let's make him Johnny Silverhand. This would be amazing.
Hey,
that doesn't really fit for him. Like that kind of character, huh?
They should have had you.
Oh no, they didn't want me for what? But no, like if you're going to go for a big name actor for that character, I think they could have gone a different route, and I think they just went with. No, somebody younger. You know, like they could have gone a different route with like
Ryan
another
Rumble?
actor. Nah, he's too comedic.
He's too.
You need someone who can play serious really well, and people could really believe
Mooch
it.
could have done it. Yes, I nominate myself.
Mooch.
Absolutely. I'm still waiting. By the way, if anybody knows, I'm still waiting for a call. Waiting for like 6 years now. I want to do one voice acting role in a video game. Doesn't even have to be the fake.
Kill.
Just the voice. Just the voice.
Mooch, I gotta say,
bro, that is so good, bro.
You know what the problem is? Here's my problem.
Riot.
There's not enough New York-based games. I know the Division did it.
The Mafia.
Yeah, thanks. We got to go that far back, BRAP?
Yeah,
man. And now I'm picturing Mooch's voice as Johnny doing the lines for Johnny Silverhand, and it's hilarious in my mind.
I swear to God, I would do it.
Hey, listen, I'm about to pay BRAP to record my Twitch alerts, bro.
Yes,
thank you.
He's good at that, man. He's very good at that.
There you go.
We didn't really get a chance to talk about much of it, but the great Gamey Forte's here. I do have a list here. I just wanted to kind of go over. This is the holiday season, right? Black Friday deals are here. I'm just looking at some of the PC. I see PC deals here. There's amazing PlayStation deals. You've got Death Stranding Director's Cut for $40.
I was joking, by the way.
No, you're right. Last of Us Part 2 for $20. Deathloop 30. Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which I didn't get yet. I have not gotten it yet, and that's $25 right now.
Really?
Everybody that got it for $10 on Steam a couple of weeks, like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, was it really? Forte?
Yeah, it was yeah.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Anything else? Go ahead. I was trying to ask Forte.
Mass Effect? Great trilogy, seriously.
You know, it's funny. I never really gave it its time in the sun. I should probably try it out. Yeah.
Mooch, you never played Mass Effect trilogy?
No, I played. No, I didn't play the trilogy. I played 2, probably almost to the very end, and then it was just like I just kind of bailed on it. And the first one had such bad mechanics on the 360 that it was
Did
just.
you buy the trilogy? It's about to hit Game Pass.
I did not buy it. No.
Yo,
I
Mooch,
heard
you have to
about
play
that
that
Game
trilogy. Yeah, you have to play, man. It's seriously, it is the best science fiction game ever.
Yes.
Have to play it.
You know, well, no, but what Merck said, I saw that leak. Is that leak hold any water where it is coming to Game Pass or no?
I don't know. I hope.
I saw the picture and somebody circled it. You know,
apparently it is, but you know, it is coming to Game Pass. Just put,
it makes sense. You know, EA and Microsoft, man, they're like buddy.
Yeah. So I mean, anything. Forte, is there anything that anyone should be privy to with the holiday weekend here for games purchasing consoles? Anything?
I mean, you know, when it comes to that stuff, it just really just comes down to just your taste and stuff. It's so much stuff on sale. It's not even funny. Like we were just, you know, talking about Cyberpunk. If you ever thought about getting into Cyberpunk, this is probably the best time to do it if you ain't did it, because it's $10 everywhere right now.
Hey, what we want to know is, can you buy next gen consoles?
You could 2 days ago.
Okay.
Online at GameStop, you could.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, yesterday you could at GameStop too.
How about Best Buy, Walmart? No.
Best Buy ran out this morning.
That's what she said.
There's a bunch of games. The biggest thing is it's really Switch oriented this time around. There's like Switch did the biggest sale I've ever seen. We always talked about them never putting stuff on sale, where they put everything on sale this week. Like we're talking about all first party games were like $26. Everything, no matter what it was. So I think that was probably the biggest thing that kind of came out of this holiday. But you know, games like Guardians, like you said, being $26. There's a variety of different games for a lot of people to play out there. It just really comes down to what you're super interested in. You know, PlayStation Plus being on sale for $39.99. So, you know, add up on that if you're getting low.
PlayStation.
Game Pass Ultimate was on sale for today and tomorrow for $19.99 for 3 months. So you can get literally a year. You can literally get a year of that.
Oh, wait, for $20? Say
what?
You said $20?
Yeah, for $20. Oh, actually, sorry, $25. $25.
Oh, I said, yeah, I paid $25.
Yeah, so 25. So yeah, you can get literally a full year of that for $100, which is like $80 less than it normally costs.
Great.
So there's a bunch of really good deals out there, but like I said, for the most part, the one thing that kind of really I'm not even going to say it really surprised me this holiday. You know, we really didn't have really a lot of Switch OLEDs, and I wasn't really expecting the Switch proper to sell as well as it did, because we were sitting on a lot of those Mario Kart bundles because everybody wanted the OLED. But then today happened, and
they gone.
Every last one of those things was gone, and we had quite a few.
Forte, I'm waiting for my shipment, please.
Oh, your shipment should be there. Well, I got to check the thing. It should be there.
Should be there.
It should have been there today, probably. I don't know. Man, UPS sucks.
I just want to know when I'm gonna be able to cop a Halo Series X.
Never. Without having to scout one.
Man, I've been trying. I've been trying
too.
I have a Series X, but I want the Halo one. I like the custom consoles. I want one. The biggest thing I'll tell people is don't go into the stores or like any retailer. Honestly, they'll go in looking at the prices they have. Go on their website and look. 90% of the time, it's cheaper on their website and they'll match it. So I know a lot of our prices are like that too. Like if you know, quite a few, like if another retailer has it at a certain price, they match it like down in the store. But if it's like our own price, they rely on people to have to go to the website to actually get those price listings and stuff. So make sure you're checking websites before you buy anything. And a lot of this stuff's going to go off sale, and there will be new sales starting on Cyber Monday, which is Monday, of course. They dropping more consoles?
No comment.
All right.
I really don't.
Slow-mo, what was that all about?
I will say this though. I will give you this. If you really, really, truly want to get one of those systems because you just can't find one, there's a couple of different ways you could go about doing it. You know, you can go to $200 route that
Black Air Forces, ski mask.
That too. But you got the $200 version that you can go out there with Best Buy and sign up for their freaking that whatever that rewards card thing is they have that they charge you $200 for extra service and tech. GameStop has, the one thing I really like about theirs is GameStop actually they do it once to twice a week. And if you're a Power Reward member, you'll get like exclusive early access emails. And they usually send them like Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And they tell you the exact time, date, and everything that they're going to be available for you to purchase. And within usually the first 2 to 3 weeks, as long as people have been very like attached to their email addresses and see exactly when that stuff comes, most people get those systems within those first week to 2 weeks. I had people literally sign up on a Friday, got an email on a Tuesday, and came into the store and said, "Yo, man, thank you. That $14 literally saved me, having to go searching for a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox because they were able to purchase it right off the website." So it just seems like a lot of people are going in that direction when it comes to like using the systems to boost their subscription gains, which is nothing wrong with. They're not scalping you for it, but that's just the only way that they've been going pretty much about getting them into people's hands.
That's the game right now.
Yep, absolutely. No, I want to say thank you to Forte for that, buddy, for having your ear to the ground, letting people know. I myself, I'm still looking to grab another Series X myself. So anyone who gets any leads or tips, let me know. The holiday season is here. That being said, guys, outstanding show. Some people that were going to be coming late did come late. Some people that had to leave early. And for some people that couldn't make it, the great Xbox 448, we'll do a plug at the end anyways. But let me go in reverse order here and say, first of all, thanks to everybody that's not by, including the great Jimmy Harrison, by the way, in the super chat, who says, "Love the show, guys. Glad to see my brother Forte on here." Jimmy, thanks for being here, and thank you for all your support, buddy, and your positive attitude on Twitter and on YouTube, buddy. So great to have Jimmy here. But let me say thanks to the great Merc305. Merc, great to have you here tonight, buddy. Great show. Great to get your opinion finally on all of these different subjects, because it's different when you get a chance to actually talk to somebody than to send it through 240 characters on Twitter. It's just not the same. So, Merc, let people know where they can find you, buddy. And I know Fridays are not your easiest day, but we got to get you back on the show. So I'll keep on pestering you. That's what mooches do. Mooches pester and pester until they get the thing they're looking for. It's why we're mooches. But nonetheless, Merc, thanks for being here tonight, buddy, and let people know where they can find you.
Hey, thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you for the invite. Thank you, panel. It was a great time, man. Great topics, great conversation. Man, you can find me just about every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday streaming on Twitch at Merc305 Plays. I also restream on YouTube at Merc305. You can follow me on Twitter at Merc305 Plays as well. And again, man, thank you for the invite. Thank you, panel. Man, I'll definitely be back.
Appreciate that, Mark. Always great to have you here, buddy. It's great. And then the great slow-mo backslap. Slow-mo, honestly, you did you did your forte, okay, your strength, and that is just spitting out facts and keeping people in line. So slow-mo, thank you for being here tonight, buddy. I know that it was last minute, but I truly appreciate your time. Let people know where they can find you, and I truly look forward to your next appearance on Crossfire.
Hey, no problem. I'll definitely be back as usual. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter at Slow-Mo Backslap. Same name everywhere. I do a little lunchtime stream of games I play called Lunchtime with Slow-Mo during the week. And DPS podcast this coming Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, with the homie Gaming Forte. Every Thursday, actually, except for this past week. And we rotate the podcast on both of our channels, but you can find that there, as well as other videos I'll be uploading throughout the week. So great show, guys, and everyone, hope you have a great weekend too. Peace.
Thank you, Slow-Mo. Appreciate that. And speaking of the great Gaming Forte, let's just talk about that. Forte, thanks for being here, buddy. Listen, you worked an incredible shift today. You busted your ass at work for the family, and then you took some time to hang out with us. So Forte, I want to say thank you for being here tonight, but I know that wasn't easy. You've had a long day. But let everybody know where they can find you. And as always, we can't wait to hear your opinions on Crossfire next week.
Absolutely, man. It's been a while, and like I said, always be trying to make it. Just comes down to just time and stuff.
It's tough, Forte, but when you're here, it's great.
Got out of there early today, and I was like, yeah. As soon as I put the tweet, I said, yeah, Mooch is gonna throw the back signal. I'm gonna make sure I'm coming.
Yo, that tweet wasn't even a minute old.
What happened?
That tweet wasn't even a minute old. I was like, I'll see you on Crossfire.
No, see you on Crossfire. No, yeah, I was gonna be here anyway. But no, man, this was a great show, and really appreciate all the love and support people been giving. But yeah, man, just enjoy the games that you guys are playing. It's Gaming Forte everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, and PlayStation. If you want to get carried in Halo by somebody, don't call me. Call Slow-Mo. Slow-Mo gonna carry y'all to Diamond.
Whoa, hey,
He already-
slow-mo
he
not
already
even
said
at
he-
diamond. Don't be
he only
setting
gonna get you-
expectations.
He only gonna get you to the door, Diamond. He ain't gonna walk you. He ain't gonna walk you
Hey.
through it though. But guys, enjoy your rest of your week, man. Enjoy your holiday with your family and stuff. Don't eat too much and enjoy the games that you're playing.
Appreciate that, Forte. And then I got my buddy here, Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, BRAP, or as he likes to go tonight by his Games Pass. BRAP, go ahead and plug the show, buddy. Outstanding job on Wednesday, and also great interview you guys you had there with Mads Gaming earlier today. So that was a lot of fun to listen to as well.
Yeah, that was great. Big shout to Mads and double kill,
It's so good.
slow-mo kill,
It's so good.
running Mooch.
Slow-mo goes, oh, was it you? So you just said, oh my God.
Slow-mo,
He's got the
seriously,
voice
dude.
for it, though, man.
Slow-mo, you were fucking killing people like no one's business, man. Like I was like 30-2. Holy, like what are you doing? Like,
I remember
I'm
that match. He was going
like-
off. He was going
like
off.
slow-mo,
that match.
like you were like, I swear, like there could be a fight in your house, and you were in this like this zen like zone that no one could like appreciate except for you. Like you were in this bubble. It was amazing. I loved it.
Look, it was a good match. Every now and then I get a 30 bomb. It's
Slow-mo,
not
no,
it's not
slow-mo,
like a
no,
rematch or
no,
anything
no,
like
slow-mo,
that.
I gotta be honest with you. You're too modest, bro.
I'm modest on purpose because when
No,
people-
don't be
no,
modest.
No,
Don't be modest.
because y'all
Why?
be like,
Why?
oh, slow mo's so great. And I start
Slow-mo.
playing, and I get a match where I'm like 12-11, and people's like,
Oh, you gotta
"Ugh."
keep
Yeah,
you up there,
slow-mo.
man.
Ugh.
Slow-mo, that's what they do with me. That's why when I put the
Good.
footage up here and like I have some ones where you just kill it, then you have certain ones where you go 12-11, like you said. Or sometimes I'm even like 11-13. Like you're not always like that. So they're like, what happened? Like BRAP even gives me shit. Where's that Mooch? I'm like, well, we gotta play for like I'll play for like 4 hours in a rip. I have good matches, I have
Yeah,
bad
right.
matches.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I mean, slow-mo. I gotta be honest with you, man. Like, you're pretty good, man. I'll just I'll leave it
Yeah,
at that.
I do want to jam out though, Slow-mo. You gotta get.
Yeah.
I would like to see your Halo schedule so I could jump into a few matches with you, buddy.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm probably going to get on at some point tonight. I got to check in with the family and see what the kids.
Yeah,
are
I
doing.
hear that.
haven't
Hey,
talked to
slow-mo.
them in a few hours,
I will bring you
That would be the
Bojangles
same.
from Clinton, and we're gonna hang out tonight, man.
Please keep the Bojangles. I don't want to be on the toilet. So
How about some horse and dickies, man?
look, I'm good. But you know, we can get together and do some Halo stuff.
Hey,
man.
Brad, plug the channel,
Yeah,
Brad.
yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. I'm sorry. Slow-mo's so good. I'm just saying.
He's great.
No, he's great. Yeah, he's great. So, Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. Every Wednesday night on YouTube, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come check us out. Mooch, always a pleasure, man. By the
Thank
way, this was a very fun show,
It was
and
fun. It was.
I wish Xbot was here because Xbot and I hooked up on Halo. We had a good time, man. We fucking
Whoa,
dominated.
what happened?
What? Yeah, I thought I heard something too.
Hey, from now on, just call it Goat Low.
No, we hooked up on Halo, man. We had a good time, man. We dominated.
Okay, I just heard you said
It was a
hooked up, and I
Freudian
like,
slip, Slow-mo.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh, come on, y'all. Really? Come on. Jesus Jones. Double kill.
There it is. Patent that, Brap. Guys, outstanding
Tickle
show. I
your
do want
ear.
to. I will plug it since the great Brap mentioned it. I will plug it. Xbot448, who works every other Friday, could not make it tonight, but he does his next podcast at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Thursdays. Go over and check him out. He's Xbot448 on YouTube and on Twitter. And the great Crap Gamer who had to leave early. That's _Crap Gamer on Twitter, and it's Crap Gamer Reviews on YouTube. So please go over and check him out as well. Guys, hit the like button on the way out. Please hit the subscribe button. And like I say, guys, we have a huge giveaway starting next week, Mooching Off the Mooch. And we are going to be Twitch streaming next week. That's twitch.tv/TheMooch78. Just go to Twitch and put the Mooch78, same as it is here.
Mooch, real quick.
Please.
Slow-mo,
Yeah, with that.
what's the best place to play Halo?
PC.
Absolutely.
Why is that?
It's the definitive version.
Frame
I'm
rates
enjoying it on my
make
Series
Xbox
X.
Series X melt. That's the main reason. Yeah.
I was told otherwise, Slow-mo, by the way.
Huh?
I was told otherwise.
Oh, well, you know, you told
But
that
I
by people
digress.
who.
Hey, let me
who've
ask
never
let me ask you guys a
played
question,
game
even though we're doing the
of,
outros.
60 frames per second.
Slow-mo, are you playing, do you download it off of the Xbox storefront, or are you playing it off of Steam?
I have only played the actual like beta and not the flights through Steam. That's the only way I played it. I tried to play it through the Xbox app, and like I know it was like some issues initially, like the very first day, and I uninstalled whatever it was installed that didn't launch right, and the Steam version was working very well at that point. So I said I just been on the Steam version ever since. I will probably go back to the Xbox version when the campaign comes out, because if you look, the campaign is within that launcher, so it's like more than likely they're just going to have a big update of gigs for you to add to wherever your install is when the campaign comes out, and then at that point I'll just uninstall the Steam version because I'm not paying for it. I got Game Pass Ultimate, so I'll just go ahead and just install that version and play it through the Xbox Store version.
There's an interesting reason why I play the Steam version over the Windows Store option.
Why is that?
Why's that?
Because the DualSense 5 is supported in Steam, and the sticks on the DualSense 5, they're so tight. Listen.
Merc.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry.
Let me preach.
I've heard people preach for the DualSense.
Yeah. I typically prefer the Xbox Series controller, Xbox One controller. I like that controller, how it feels in my hand better. But man, something about Halo and the tightness of the sticks of the DualSense 5, it is a match made in heaven. If you have not tried it, I suggest you do. And man, you can thank me later.
Wow, Merc with a PS5 plug. That's a plug.
Merc, that's called greatness.
He's just speaking the truth. He's just speaking his heart.
It's greatness, man. Those tight sticks in Halo, they just go together, man.
So wait, so Slow-Mo, if I understood you, so Slow-Mo, you are going to be going into the you'll be playing it off of PC, Xbox Game Pass, correct? You'll be playing it off of there starting December 8th.
Games Pass.
Yeah, December 8th when the campaign comes
Games
out.
Pass.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Real quick,
I'm good with the Steam version as of now.
Hey, Slow-Mo, real quick, you're really good at Halo. I just live with that.
Go low.
You're
Goat
good,
low.
dude. You're fucking good.
Now I got news for you. I'm going to do what
Thank
Slow-Mo
you,
said. I'm
Rico.
actually going to go in and check in with the family, see what's going on. Now I want to play some Halo.
I was surprised.
So
I'm like, holy shit, Slow-Mo's like,
let me say this much too. I want to say shout out to Hustle and Motivate, the great Hustle and Motivate, by the way, who became
He's
a
not
Mooch
good.
Maniac
He's not good.
family member tonight. He's awesome. The great Hustle and Motivate. Hustle, thank you so much for
He's okay.
resubscribing to the channel, buddy. It means so much to me. Thank you, guys. It really, really does. Like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways through the holidays here. And giving back to the Xbox and PlayStation community that is here every week. I really, really appreciate it, guys. It means a lot to the
Can I say
channel.
one more thing?
Sure, Brad.
I'm sorry. I do want to wrap the show. I would say one more thing. Elden Ring, Game of the Year next year. So live with that.
Oh, no, wait, God of War.
It's like Brad being like, Mooch, one more thing. I'm like, sure, Brad, what do you got? And he's like, red.
Brap's trying to start fights.
He's like, red is my favorite color. All right. Well, that's fine. Brap, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I played Sekiro this morning.
I saw that.
Oh my god, amazing.
Appreciate the clips. Those were great clips. They were fantastic.
They were great.
They were
Mooch,
great.
I'm going to call you later on.
All right, guys, here's what we'll do. We'll see you guys next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Please do stay privy to twitch.tv/TheMooch78. We'll be there on Wednesday. Hopefully, we'll see what's going on, but it will be next week for certain. Guys, enjoy your weekend. Again, thanks to the great Hustle and Motivate. Thanks to Slang Chilean for coming back as well. To the Mooch Maniac family members, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Just hit a button on the way out. I truly appreciate it. We'll see you next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Peace out and good night.